Hello, everybody. Welcome to the CEN. Today we have an exciting match between University of Waterloo Gold versus York University Red. It is going to be a double elimination Swiss stage bracket game. So no matter what team loses or wins here, they're not going to be eliminated just yet. It'll just be a chance for them to make it out of their groups. Now I'm kind of joined by Ronick for the first time in forever. Actually, I haven't
Yeah,
seen this guy.
it's been a while.
Yeah, in a hot second. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to be back. Had a cast a couple weeks ago. Was missing you, but we're back now. It's been a little minute, man. You know how we do.
Yeah, we know how we do. And if you guys, tuning in know how we do, then you should be excited for the stream because we're gonna be showing you. We're gonna prove,
Yeah.
that this combo isn't dead yet.
Mhm.
As we jump right in to Agent Select, and the first map is gonna be Haven, UW Gold on defense with YorkU on the attack.
Yeah, and going into these compositions, immediately we have UW Gold locking in their roster. They're not running a jet as opposed to YorkU, who is running a jet. And as like the meta shifts and as like more patches come out with this game, you see like meta shifting all the time, especially with the newer patch coming out. Neon's been really strong in a lot of competitive metas, just because of her ability to take space really quickly, the accuracy she has when she's sliding, and her ultimate just overall being like so impactful in economy rounds, buy rounds, just anywhere where she can activate her ultimate. And Jet just being like a staple character on Haven, being able to get that op as early as possible, and just having the impact of being between 3 different sites where the operator can play. The defense really has to figure out, where they want to go. The rest of the composition is usually, like standard. You got your information, breach, Sova, Cypher, stuff like that. But, the recent Cypher nerfs, I don't know if you've seen.
Yes.
They've been like they've been a little heavy on them. The tripwire taking a little longer to activate, and the ultimate being another ultimate orb.
Overcharge,
Yeah, which, it's tough, but otherwise these compositions are pretty much identical. It's just that Neon versus Jet matchup that we're going to see here.
Yeah, it's been kind of funny to see a bunch of teams like start out with like, is Neon real? Like, is Neon like a genuine viable pick? And then we see teams slowly get assimilated one by one, into the Neon. Like maybe the character's a little bit good.
Yeah, it's like
right?
she got something going on. Like something's clearly working if all these teams are able to use her so well. But going straight into this pistol round, we see YorkU on the side of attack, UW Gold starting defense, and it seems like Warriors have thrown the smoke for a lobby control, but they're actually not present there anywhere. But YorkU, they're gonna already expel the drone to have to clear this out.
Yeah, good play from Waterloo there to throw the forward smoke, potentially force the drone out, force the util out, beginning of the game. Obviously Warriors haven't taken all this long space, so they are not aware of YorkU, running up this A thing just yet. But we see that the Cypher, so we see that Breach might be ready with a stun for sure, but it looks like York has primarily opted to put most of their roster in the A main.
And it seems like Dash has popped out. Peep comes out. The Dash spots out Pork, but Pork trading some shots, but the Paranoia connects as well. Trill able to take down Nexus, but Peep gets the refrag onto Pork. The spike does go down, and it's a 4v4 retake situation, but quickly CEN takes down Trill. And now 4v3 York, they do have the player advantage. Here comes the retake quickly, though. P sends out the Paranoia, though. It's not going to connect with Peep, and he's going to take down 2. The last Levi takes down P, and YorkU, they secures themselves a quick pistol round.
Yeah, that round, obviously, YorkU expended the drone early, but at the end of the day, it's not like the Warriors took significant space. YorkU posted up for just a full site rush into it. Was a good trade, but a good attempt by I think Peep. I think Trill was on the person on the site getting the trade.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the Paranoia is not enough to resecure the site. Obviously, a hard site to retake, especially if you don't have the util.
I mean, it's like even with that Paranoia that came in from P, you saw that Peep just had a positioning where he wasn't really impacted by the Paranoia. That allowed him to get 2. And, Warriors, they just were not prepared for Peep to be in that position, which is what allowed them to get that round. And coming in to this round, Warriors, they're obviously on an eco. They don't really have the money, but the Bucky still in the hands of Trill. And I feel like the Bucky has slowly become a more viable buy, and I think it's purely because of Neon.
Yes,
I think people are realizing that this gun actually isn't completely garbage, and if you have it in the right hands, aka Neon's hands, it's actually quite powerful.
Yeah, I've seen clips, the things that we've seen with the Bucky Neon that's possible Trill actually
Oh, he's
not
stuck in
spotted
the
until the
position.
Recon Bolt that Bucky is going to go down, and we see that Justin is trying to make a fast fill into the site. But actually, P gets one with a Bucky, so I guess it's not a
It wasn't completely
complete
wasteful. I think Trill jumped into the smoke and then P managed to get the Bucky from
yeah.
his body. CEN taking out the last player. That's Pork on the retake. A quick round from York. They just execute so fast. I mean, these past 2 rounds they've been able to get onto site, get the plants, and clear it out. But now it's going to be full buy coming in from UW Gold. They do have rifles across the board. 2 players still forced on light armor, but they should be able to take this round. But they haven't really been getting too many picks on these rounds that they're losing. Only 1 pick each of the rounds. So the money on the side of YorkU is still pretty healthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's too early to judge for sure, but definitely from these at least 2 rounds we've seen that YorkU has been opting for a controlled, controlled take space and to execute kind of plays. They have some util spread around the map, like on default. They kind of poke and prod, and they just like rush into a site. We might see something different as most of YorkU are set up around garage, so they could go for a B play as they've also given a lot of ground to Waterloo on the A side here. So I think Waterloo kind of has to clue into this. They have to realize that they're coming garage. They might hit B. They might hit garage. They might be somebody C long. But I think Waterloo are still a little bit wary of the turn. And
A
wow,
shot from Peep.
Yeah, manages to take the kill onto Justin, and that's actually really huge. That might open up the B site for them.
Yeah, but it seems like they're actually respecting it and want to go back towards C. Now, I don't know if they know that Waterloo is already scaled up towards A, but they do have that tripwire to give them any information if Drill does decide to get ambitious and push out. But the site setup is still present for Hephaestus. And now, YorkU, they're just creeping slowly into this trap that he has set up.
Yeah, and the Cypher util is set up not just at the entrance of the sites, they're set up around the corners, so it's going to be up to Waterloo, especially the Cypher, to make any picks happen, but so far no resistance, and the plant goes down for YorkU.
Yeah, and it seems like no one was really there to play off of the Cypher trips. Hephaestus, he's caught it at a really bad time there from Nexus and Levi. They take down 2. Levi with a second on the round, and now it's all up to Trill. He's just been alone here, chilling on the A site, and it does seem like he's going to opt to save this Vandal.
Yeah, and that again is that there's a pick from YorkU at the beginning of the round, but ultimately it's the execute that goes through, the plant goes down, and YorkU have been out fighting Waterloo, outgunning them, and maybe even out positioning them. Like they're Waterloo is completely wiped out in garage, like without and that's a full buy round too, right? So and yeah, it's soon adding insult to injury, taking out the
last member, yeah.
Last member. That's going to be a flawless round from YorkU, actually.
Yeah, no weapons preserved from the side of UW Gold. Once again, they're forced on an eco, and now the money and the rifles fully in the hands of YorkU Red. Already, they've taken some early control of this match.
Yeah, and this is kind of also an interesting round to see because I wonder if Waterloo is going to go for a more aggressive strat. We see that Neon and Breach are actually sitting mid, so maybe there's going to be some kind of utility combo into window.
I want to see Trill hop on that box and then hop into window, slide in, see what could happen. But Justin goes for the stun. Trill's just walking down, and Nexus, he's all alone here. He could be spotted out, but he's not really giving any opportunity for UW Gold.
Yep, and Waterloo throws this Omen Smoke every round, which has been doing a decent job of forcing YorkU to not actually take too much space there. But this tripwire goes down in time. I think Trill is going to get ready to break it and just rush through it with the teammates. The Chopple goes down the slide around the corner. That's why you pick Neon.
Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing Nexus can do there, and already here comes a 3-man flank from the side of UW Gold. Justin, Hef is all alone there in heaven, though. He is taken down by CEN, and now a tap coming in. Justin sticking the bomb, though, but he has to get off. It seems like there's too much force from YorkU coming out. Hicks takes down 1, Levi takes down another, and Hicks with the 3rd on the round. YorkU, they live with 2 players, and that's still going to be a really important round for UW. They do get 3 players down. I mean, YorkU, they do have the money, but they need as much as they can get.
Yeah, Waterloo, that's the first time really that they've shown signs of life there. They go for the aggressive 3-man flank. They manage to get some kills on the board. And YorkU, adapts smartly as well. Instead of trying to take fight on the site and in all the chaos with the stingers and the sheriffs and whatnot, they just choose to push into CT with all their util, which gives them a bit more space. So they ultimately take the round. It's going to be 4-0, but Waterloo, definitely we want to see that continue for them, and York just want to make sure that they keep the pressure on. They I think they've been doing a good job of pushing these sites, so they're going one more time.
The fast execute coming in. Hef, he's stuck behind the breach, and now Peep finding 2 on the round, and that's already the C site completely opened. And YorkU, I mean, they've just been so dominant on these attacks. They're getting the plant down so quickly. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, connects with Peep. It is going to take him down as well. Actually takes down 2 Levi as well. Does find P before he goes down, though. And now it's a 2v3 retake situation for UW. They do have the Breach utility, the Sova utility coming in as well. Paranoia comes out. It's going to connect onto both players, Justin and Pork. They can't do it alone. And YorkU, they bring us up 5-0. I mean, this is looking like sheer dominance. I mean, 2 players still yet to be on the board for UW.
Yeah, York has just been textbook with these executes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like a crazy like Paper Rex type strat where they like, start flying in from all angles, but everything is very methodical. You know, the smokes are where they need to be, the jet is where she needs to be. You know, the dart was where it needs to be, and at the end of the day, right, like we've mentioned, like it's kind of standard Valorant where if you lose the site and lose 2 members, it's just kind of impossible to retake, right?
I mean, like you need a miracle to make a round like that recoverable, but and even now, like they're forced on yet another economy round. Peep, they're just going so fast for the C. P does connect to Paranoia, and it seems like it's gonna force Peep out a little bit, but they're still really adamant on going here on C. But P with a clean shot takes Peep's head right off. I just realized it's Peep versus P. It's like a battle of very similar names. I feel like you and I always experience this. There's always like 2 teams where like 2 people have really similar names.
Yeah, and it's always mighty confusing.
It's
like Peep, P,
Peep.
I'm missing a P there somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, that has been, you know, I think the first round that UW Gold had actually started a round with an advantage, like a man up or like utility-wise, advantage-wise.
And even on an eco, I mean, that's important for them, like, because they need all the picks they can get in a round like this. Levi, he does spot out Pork. And, you know, YorkU, they kind of just move as one big unit. They sometimes just have Nexus going around getting some information for them. Like, as you can see here, he's just staying back, holding down grass. But they're creeping up towards B site, and this site is almost completely open, and they know that. They're going to be able to get on. The plant does go down. And now Hef actually takes down a second player, and UW Gold, they have a 2-player advantage. Trill tucked in his corner, finds himself 2. It's all up to Hicks now. He has the Phantom in hand, and he actually doesn't plant B, but he's going to plant the spike A. It's a 4v1 situation now. Waterloo, they lose Justin, but, you know, it's not going to be enough. Hicks can't do it alone, and P takes down another on the round, putting himself on the top of that scoreboard for UW and getting his team on the board now, 1-5.
Yeah, and York seems to have overcooked a little bit in that round there, opting for, you know, like kind of a ring around the rosy, you know, take it B, fake it B, run it A, but they get caught at the end of the day by Trill.
Yeah, I mean, that positioning, like,
I mean,
like, you can't think to clear that like that. Like, in a hindsight situation like that, when time's running low, you can't really expect yourself to clear that. And I think Trill took advantage of that. Hid in that corner, had the Guardian in hand, and he got himself 2. So
yeah, and it's a Guardian too. So
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
landing that is important, but Trill manages. You know, to clutch that round up, and Hef, I think, you know, did a lot of work that round.
Yeah, with
too,
the stinger,
doing the stinger flank. You know, like making sure that like nobody was taking long inside of YorkU. So yeah, Waterloo managed to claw a round back, and that means that Trill has
the operator
and bought an operator.
I mean, that's could be the game changer here for UW. The operator just has so much control, so much presence. He's gonna hold the line from a main, but it doesn't seem like YorkU is really interested in that. But they do make a step here towards mid. I'm not sure if UW heard that or not, but here come out the dark covers. Fault line comes in as well, and now the site is all YorkU's yet once again as the spike goes down. It's going to be a 5v5 retake situation.
Yep, Aftershock going to go down, but that's not going to be able to discourage the plant just in time. And yeah, I mean, I think B for a lot of teams like end up being like who has more util to retake the site with? Is it defense or is it attack? But now it's going to be an all-out ultimate battle from both teams. Like Levi pulls out the Hunter's Fury. That's going to be 2 tagged actually with that last hit. The breach ult also going to come down
Trill,
over
he
top.
dodges it.
But Trill manages to dodge it, pulls out the operator, gets 1 kill, another one, a third with the magic fingers, and it's going to be the UW Gold with 3 standing. YorkU, it was a battle of ultimates. It was a battle of whatever
chaos.
The heck.
That was chaos.
Yeah,
there was just so much happening there. I mean, so many ultimates used. I think Hef was I think it was Pork who got the first pick there. And that just kind of like set the entire retake into motion. I mean, there were just ultimates going out left and right. At the end of the day, you know, 3 ultimates I think that were used on the side of YorkU, and that's going to be like that's going to be quite costly for them. They do still have money to fall back on, but now they've lost that Rolling Thunder, they've lost that Hunter's Fury for the post plant. They do have some ultimates still available, the Neural Theft as well as CEN's from the Shadows, but you know, Waterloo, they're going to be really happy with that round. They got full shield, full rifles across the board. And, I mean, those finger guns from Trill, I mean, it was just kind of like, you know, 1, 2, 3, and he switched up. And now he's stuck in this corner. Might find out Peep, and he does. You know, Operator with the headshot, that's just a little bit overkill, but overkill just isn't in Trill's vocabulary. He takes down, gets himself the first blood on the round. And once again, as long as Waterloo gets this early control, it seems like they're able to capitalize off it very quickly.
Yeah, and I think that last round actually really threw a wrench into York's plans because I think they were definitely thinking, you know what, we go B, we get the plant down no matter what.
We have these ultimates,
we have all
can't
these
lose.
ultimates, like we can't lose this round. But you know, Trill managed to clutch up that round.
I don't know how that ultimate missed him though. Like it looked like it was like right on him, but I think he found like a narrow little corner where he's able to sneak through. But now YorkU, they're going to try take this B again, but they're going for this fake Aruni where they go back towards A. Pork finds one, unable to find a second as CEN takes him down. Blinds coming out left and right. Trill with the Operator, though. He's on this angle. He finds himself one out of CEN as well. Now it's a 2v4 situation. Quickly equalizes down to a 1v3, and now it's all up to Hicks, only on 12 HP. Spike is down. He has to retrieve it. Dodges the paranoia, but he's not aware of Justin behind the box as he takes him down. And Waterloo, they're stopping the snowball as early as they can and getting a snowball of their own rolling.
Yeah, and Waterloo has been, doing a really good job using this Operator, making sure that like the pick comes out early.
Timeout.
Yeah, and that round too, right? Like they were, I think York, because they were a man down, they wanted to take more space. They wanted to, create more of a fight. But yeah, Trill and especially Justin throwing all those breach flashes through the wall just to stop York dead in their tracks. And yeah, this timeout, obviously, the momentum's back. Looks like it's back on Waterloo's side. I think.
Oh no, this is York's timeout, but it makes sense because I mean, after losing 3 rounds in a row, after having 5 rounds in a row, I mean, like clearly it seems like Waterloo they figured out how York want to play this and what they're doing, and they're bringing up the counterplay as quickly as possible because now it seems like Waterloo they suddenly have the upper hand because now they still do have some money towards the side of York. They've got rifles pretty much across the board. I think Nexus is going to be the only one who doesn't. But even still, like it's still really early. Like anything can happen, especially on a map like Haven where it is very attacker sided because of the 3 sites, the amount of aggression you can take with a character like Neon as well. So if Waterloo get themselves 5 rounds, maybe even 4, I think they'll be sitting pretty happy. And I think YorkU, they just want to do everything they can to maximize the amount of rounds they get out of this attack half.
Yeah, and York's name of the game right now is Stop the Momentum. I wonder, what kind of like talk, went on in that timeout. But maybe it could be just like, you're doing so good, you were doing so good with the execute.
Guys, we just lost 3 rounds in a row. We gotta lock in again. Like what happened?
Just lock in, just push the site. Just do what you've been.
We're better than them. We can aim. And then I bet Waterloo's they're saying the same thing. Yo, we're better than them. How do these guys get 5 rounds on us in the first place? It's just kind of that mental battle that happens between a lot of teams in situations like this.
Yeah, and the important thing to note this round is that Trill is Garage, I think, with Operator. So, all this space has been taken by York. The Cypher trips are here, but it's going to be up.
The diagonal trip.
Ooh, the diagonal trip doesn't manage to catch the Jet on the dash-in as it's going to be York's
It catches one, though, and it's Hicks, actually. Hephaestus getting the first pick on the round. Neural Theft is committed as well. He's going to find all the players, and now Waterloo, they know that all of the players of YorkU are just towards site. They're going to want to play this post-plant situation. It's still a 5v4 situation. Here comes the Rolling Thunder from Justin. From the shadows committed to try and avoid it. I think it was avoided. The dart spots out a couple players with P. He's there to take down CEN, who tries to dodge the ultimate. Trill holding this dark cover, and now it's all up to Nexus at the end of the day. But the Operator, now in the hands of Justin, takes down Nexus, and Waterloo, they live a healthy round. 4 players still alive, and Hef getting that first pick onto Nyx. I mean, that was kind of the game changer. There's just no breach util for YorkU to use in the post plant there.
Yeah, I mean, YorkU do a good job, managing to not die on the first wave of that Rolling Thunder, but at the end of the day, yeah, the util, the amount of coordination Waterloo have pushing back into the site is a little bit too much, and yeah, like, I think, Waterloo has definitely found their stride. I think before we've seen rounds where from YorkU that they take the site and they just never let go. But that round was actually a round where they got site presence.
Yeah, they wanted to play post there, but without that breach utility and like with that fast retake coming in from UW, like they just had no breathing room.
They're saying no, run it back.
Yeah, I mean,
that was a fluke. Run it back.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. They're trying again towards A, but Hephaestus, he's still posted towards this A site now. And the Operator holding the line on C. Trill, he's already called for his team to rotate, and it seems like they have a lot of presence towards B, but the execute's going to be coming in soon from YorkU. Here comes the jet dash, the updraft onto the box, and Hef, he's all alone here on site. Trip's not really catching him out one this time. And the spike goes down. It's going to be another 5v5 retake situation. I mean, both of these teams, they're not really giving the other team any situations where they can take advantage.
Yeah, this is just last round, but this
But
is
like
last round. But the
but
breach
Nyx is
didn't
alive,
die.
yeah.
Yes, yes. So now Waterloo have a little bit more of a gauntlet to run here. Obviously, Nyx is just sitting under heaven with all the util.
They've also got the Levi's dart as well. I mean, here comes the aftershock, the slide from Trill.
Ooh.
Shots are going to go a little bit wide, and I mean, the fast retake was just shut down as quickly as it started. A flawless round from YorkU.
Yeah, and that's just the importance of the breach right there, right? Like last time, Hicks went down. You know, they couldn't hold the site, all the util was too much. But right there, he kills. I think Hicks killed someone with aftershock there.
Yeah, I
too.
think he killed. I think he just caught out P just barely. I think he might have hit him with a fault line potentially, but maybe P just wasn't expecting to come out the smoke and be met with that aftershock. But yeah, I mean, Hicks getting himself on the board. He's top of the lobby right now. 10 kills across both top fraggers here. This time the operator not purchased from the side of Waterloo. I think they've realized it's a little bit more of a liability when YorkU are taking it so slow.
Yeah, definitely. I think you know, because YorkU aren't the type to poke and prod into different places. They have been preferring to just stack a site and just run it in. I think definitely Waterloo seeing the value in the operator a bit less as they are managing to keep the thing is Waterloo do keep manage to set up on the sites that YorkU are pushing. So it's gonna be actually another round where the Cypher is ready. Some of the trips do go down, as actually both trips are not going to be killed by the shock dart. There's still one at the back of site, but some HP is traded around as Shun on 12 HP.
Yeah, and still all players on both sides are going to be alive, but you know, as you mentioned, CEN, he's not really looking too healthy, but Hephaestus going to be caught out, and now the C site is a little bit open. P tries to make a play happen in the smoke, but Nexus, he's there to capitalize off of that as well, and now Waterloo, they've once again been put on this back pedal. Trill trying to go for a flank. He's going to be spotted out by that tripwire, taking that 5 damage. I think it's always really funny sometimes when you don't realize the Cypher trip does damage, and then occasionally, very rarely, you'll get a kill with the Cypher trip. But here comes the retake, coming in fast. Pork, he does find 2 with the ultimate, but the players of Waterloo, they're just unable to capitalize off of it. Pork! What just happened? What just happened? Wait, what just happened? What just happened? I closed my eyes for like a second, and it seems like all the players of YorkU wanted to swing Pork, but I mean, he took all 3 fights and just eliminated everyone. I mean, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's just beautiful.
I was getting ready to say, you know, like, oh,
you know,
that's
like,
wraps for
yeah,
Waterloo. Oh, York is gonna, you know, close out the round. It's gonna be a boring old round. But at the he gets 2 with the Hunter's Fury at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then he just wins every gunfight on long.
I mean, that movement, he was just like left, right, left, right, left, right, and then YorkU, they just couldn't handle him. They just took him down.
Yeah, I mean that's why you know your sometimes your left hand is all just as important as your right hand. You know, you gotta make sure that you do not only your aim led, but you make sure to get that movement down. And yeah, that's criminal. UW basically heist, or sorry, I should say Pork just heist that round straight out of YorkU's.
I mean, YorkU, they can't be happy with that.
Definitely.
That was a round they pretty much had dead to rights. They already had a 2-player advantage going into the post plan anyways, and you know, I mean, the picks still coming in were. They're important, but it wasn't enough. Here comes the Rolling Thunder, though. Pork is now flying in the air. And as quickly as he got the 5 last round, he's taken down this round. Peep and Levi finding themselves 1 each as well. Spike does go down. YorkU, they have 4 players to Waterloo's 3, and it's yet another post-plan situation.
Yeah, maybe that was a bit personal.
I mean, yeah. They're like, wait, Pork is on the A site? Run that Rolling Thunder. I'm going in.
And the Paranoia has actually dropped. We've seen this fight so many times. But, oh, my God, the right click just goes into Narnia.
Yeah. A little bit wide, and P finds 1, and now it's Hef and Justin. Justin does take down the first player. The recon bolt is going to spot out Hephaestus, though. Both pings going to locate him. He doesn't seem like he knows where CEN is, and CEN might be able to find a timing, though, but he's so low on HP. Here comes the tap again. Looks like he's going to try and get it to half. The swing from CEN, though, perfectly timed, and it takes down Hephaestus. Bringing the half 7-5. YorkU, I think they're pretty happy with that half, but I think Waterloo's even happier. You know, only being down 2 rounds on a map where attack is kind of just so dominant, it's so important for UW to have gotten those rounds. And, you know, things could have been really disastrous from the way that they were starting, but they were able to get their footing. They were able to figure out, you know, what it is Waterloo want to do. And, I mean, everyone just kind of had a round or two where they really showed, shined?
Shined?
That word always confuses
yeah,
me.
something like that. Something like that.
They had a round where they were in the light, in the glory.
And the thing is, like, I think what those last rounds have shown us also is that you can't really count out a team until the very last moment, because there it looked one-sided for a little bit as well, and it just came down to a 1v1 like post-plant situation. So, you know, definitely we can't count out any of those teams, as Waterloo maybe taking a page out of YorkU's book to try and take this long, maybe rush onto A site with the Neon this time, and Pork gets the kill onto Peep on short. That means that's going to be only Levi left on the site, and with a stun.
What the? I mean, okay, I guess. I mean, Trill just finds 2 kills there, 1 through the smoke. I'm sure Hicks is not happy about dying in that position there, but YorkU, they're left down to just Nexus and CEN now. And Waterloo, all 5 players still on the board, and pretty much all of them are healthy except for Pork now. It seems like Trill, he's getting a little bit aggressive, wants to find another one. Doesn't though, and Pork punishes Nexus, and the shock dart comes out to take down CEN as well. I mean, Pork, he's been on fire these past couple of rounds, getting himself so many picks, and I don't know where he really caught. I think it might have been short where Peep was trying to play. He gets caught out by Pork there as well. And I mean, that entry, it's like, it's so fast that, you know, I don't even think that, you know, anyone on site had time to think. I mean, Levi, he was kind of just stuck, and he knew the Neon was there, but at the same time, it's just like, what can you do about that?
Yeah,
He's all up in your business. And I mean, poor Hicks.
Oh yeah, poor Hicks. Poor Hicks. Like, Leon just like is just seeing a different plane of existence that we're seeing.
What does Trill know that we don't?
Exactly. We gotta check his PC. No, we gotta see if there's word.exe on there. But yeah, that was definitely a statement round. Waterloo just kind of runs over everybody A, especially, and then I don't think there's not much you can complain if you're Waterloo there. Like the util combo, the Neon run-in, you know, winning the duel on short, so there's no multiple angles to check on site. It's just, again, it's kind of textbook. So I think Waterloo are going to be pretty happy about that round, as it's going to be Trill again in the front, maybe trying to make their way into Garage. That breached and actually hits 2, I think.
Yeah, and CEN, he has the Marshal in hand. He could be the difference maker of this round if he's able to find one, but Pork, there to find the quick first on the round. It's going to be Waterloo taking down 3 players on the C site already, and the spike does go down. Once again, it's like deja vu. It's a 2v5 situation. It's all up to Hicks and Levi, but Hicks goes down, and now Levi, 40 HP. He seems a little bit aware, but I'm not sure if he's going to find Pork sitting in this corner. The shot's a little wide at first, but the head is found of Levi, taken down with the ghost in the hands of Hephaestus.
Yep, and what can I say? Again, that's I mean, obviously that was an eco round, but you know, Waterloo looking like York.
Yeah, I mean, that was just flawless.
Yeah.
I mean, they keep all their guns, they keep a lot of their shields as well. I think only 2 players have to replenish their shields, and once again, the Bucky now in the hands of Trill. I mean, I just love seeing, you know, that Neon movement. Like, as infuriating as it is to play against it in a game, you know, when you're watching it and you're kind of just sitting, you know, in these comfortable little chairs and just watching it happen, it's just so fun. It's like a little movie.
Yeah, I'm not the one that the Neon just like full slide headshot. Like,
yeah,
you know, while I was holding his sight, so I'm good. You know, we'll. You know, as for the person on the receiving end, definitely not. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm kind of excited to see what kind of crimes Trill will commit this round with this Bucky as Peep.
I think he got tagged a little bit by that Guardian, and that's already some damage on Waterloo's side. It seems like York, they're kind of just scattered all around the map right now, trying to figure out where it is that Waterloo want to go. And you know, Waterloo have just been dancing between different sites. I mean, they're A, they're B. Now they're looking to take some space towards mid, find some information in Garage. Levi has the drone, but he's not going to spot out Hephaestus. He's tucked nicely there into A short.
Yeah, and this is always the play that I see from Sentinels. Actually,
look at this rotate coming in.
Is sitting right up long. He's gonna be spotted out, and he's just covered by all the utility in the world. But that's 2. Oh my God! This is why you do aim labs.
Is the stun just a cosmetic? I mean, like, he was fully stunned there, and he just takes down 2 there. I don't think Waterloo were planning on that happening either. But Pork trying to equalize the position. He does take down CEN. That's going to be the first pick from Waterloo. But Hicks takes down Hephaestus as well. Justin catches out the target, falling out of the sky. A clay pigeon. Hicks is taken down, but here comes the retake. The players coming onto site. Levi Spots out Justin, and now it's all up to Pork. Both players low, but he's unaware of the positions of YorkU, and they get that round. But I think Waterloo are still pretty happy. They take down 3 rifles with them.
Yeah, and that honestly would have been a complete loss for York if not for Peep getting 2 with that.
I mean, that was just
that was beautiful. What can I say? He gets a
the first one, like, sure, but the second two, I mean,
exactly.
That's just crazy.
Like first one's a you know what they say. First one's a fluke.
Yeah.
Second one, that's where you prove it.
Like,
yeah, and Peep definitely proved it because that round was definitely on him. Like that round, without Peep's intervention.
Yeah, getting those 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, when I'm stunned, my gun does not shoot like Peeps. Like, personally, I don't know. He got some sort of method unlocked. Maybe it's the skin. I think I need the skin.
Yeah, I don't know if my gun even shoots while I'm like. Trill's top there, but overall,
they're just having a little dance. They're just having a little tango between 2
dance
parties right now.
Yeah, a little peep. If you see what I did there, but
little peep and pee.
Yeah, a little peep and pee, but it looks like Waterloo are going to opt to shoot out the tripwires that don't exist, but they invest the Rolling Thunder.
No,
but
the paranoia connects with Trill as Peep takes down the first, but P onto Peep, the headshot takes him down, and now it's still a 4v4 situation. Nexus, though, spots out the lurker in mid, and Hef goes down, but Waterloo, they seem more interested in going towards this ace site, and they might get that entirely for free, but the setup is still present from Nexus there. He might be able to capitalize off it if he gets there fast enough, but I don't think he will. Waterloo, they just have to clear out the site now, and they can play a calm little post here.
Yep, and this trip is going to be spotted out. They're not going to shoot it just yet, and like you mentioned, there's no follow-up from YorkU just yet. But I think definitely we're going to have to see what they do with the retake. The Bolt is invested really early. The flash doesn't manage to catch anyone out. The timing's a little bit unfortunate for the side of Waterloo as YorkU managed to flood onto site. That's 1 kill for Pork, 2 kills for Pork, 1 by P, 3 for Pork, and he just locks down the site.
I mean, 1, 2, and 3. How many more can he get? He gets down to 3 on the round. It's going to be Waterloo now equalizing the score. It's 8-8, and that's going to be a big round for them because guns were invested for the side of YorkU. They had to spend a lot of money because they lost a lot of guns on their rifle round, and now Waterloo, they have the money advantage, and, Pork, he's been dominating 20-9, and he's now got the Hunter's Fury online as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, like that round, was like YorkU's to lose in a way. Like they get the pick at the beginning, but at the end of the day, the amount of kills Pork is just racking up, in these post-plan like late game type of situations, has been really pushing Waterloo through the finish line. As Trill make it onto site, the relay bolt, the fast lane not gonna do enough to save his life from the amount of bullets flying his way.
Though.
Nexus, ooh, that's gonna
The
be
Sheriff.
2 kills on the board. YorkU are really low.
I mean, Hef could maybe make this happen, but I mean, it's just so difficult with the spike being down and, this cross around the dark cover. Peep trying to find him behind the dark cover with the updraft, but now, I mean, this position is just so difficult for Hefasis to win.
This is a 3-way crossfire, basically, onto the bomb. And yeah, Hef is a Cypher.
I mean, the bomb must be so scared just being in the middle of all this.
Right.
I mean, 4 people technically staring down the poor little spike. I mean, he's just sitting there out in the open, and here comes Hefasis through the dark cover. The cage gonna come out, but actually the dart is inside the cage.
Yeah,
and it is gonna spot out Hef
trying his best, to sneak out with that
with the spike.
with the spike
Trying to go
there.
unnoticed there.
Yeah.
Little in and out, but
grab a little snack footage at 3 a.m.
Oh
But
yeah.
his mom is waiting.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, what are you
microwave,
eating? Yeah, exactly.
he forgot to hit the stop button before it started.
I hate
beeping.
it when that happens.
I'm a notorious microwave beeper at night. I think my roommates might start to dislike me.
I am as well. I don't know.
Sometimes you get hungry. Like, you can't help it.
Exactly. And sometimes you have to eat. Just like how Hef had to go for
yeah,
that
he
spike
had to get that
there.
spike. I mean, sometimes that late night snack is just too tempting. I mean, in Hef's case, it was too tempting there, and he gets caught out by the dart, but not as quickly as Trill gets caught out by Peep with the wall bang. But here comes the execute from Waterloo towards the A site. They do have some economy weapons, but the spike is going to go down. Some Vandal still in the hands of Waterloo. Here comes the neural theft, though. It is going to spot out all of these players, and now Justin, he's left all alone in sight, and you know, YorkU, they know this. They might be able to capitalize off it if they're fast enough, but here comes Pork with the pick onto Hicks, but the picks from YorkU are just too fast. And all 4 players of Waterloo are just kicking down as quickly as they got onto site.
Yeah, Pork isn't able to tap into the gods of Valorant that round. So unfortunately, YorkU just overwhelmed Waterloo with numbers. And one thing I want to say, right, is Peep has been doing a fantastic job of getting these opening kills, right? Like, if, you know, you're supposed to push P, but you're not supposed to push Peep.
Ooh. Someone write that down. Someone
write that down. Someone write that down, because right now Peep has been absolutely crucial in YorkU's defense. We thought that, you know, with the kind of even performance from both teams coming into this half, that it might be, the script might flip towards Waterloo as they go on the attack, but we see that YorkU keeps a small but healthy lead over them consistently.
Yeah, it seems like Peep is just kind of trying to write his own story. He's saying, nah, I'm going to do my own thing as he takes down. I mean, he's been getting so many first bloods in these rounds. He just takes that early fight, and he's able to find one almost every single time. I think it was just pistol round where he wasn't able to get a first, where he was taken down by Pork. But you know, I mean, it's Pork. He's been dominating this match so far.
Yeah, and we actually see that since YorkU maybe was so successful on that retake last round, they've opted to just give the site completely to Waterloo, except for like 2 tripwires. and a
Troll's trying to find the camera. Just a little bit, you know, just a little bit wide with the bullets potentially.
It is really annoying though when you can't find the camera.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like especially some of these ciphers. I mean, they know camera spots that you wouldn't even imagine were possible. So I can understand his frustration. But here comes that Hunter's Fury from Pork. He does connect onto a couple of members, but isn't able to find one. And Peep, once again, he's been getting these first picks time and time again, but this time he's taken down by Hephaestus. The blind actually is going to connect with Trill. They're not spotted out, though. Here comes the finger guns. They take down 1, take down 2, looking for the 3rd. Here comes the finger guns. But Hephaestus, he's the one to find the 3rd on the round for himself. I mean, what can you do against that? I mean, Trill is just slipping and sliding all over the place. I mean, you just see someone across your screen pointing their little fingers at you, going pew 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 pew, pew with the little electricity, the overdrive. I mean, it's just too strong.
Yeah, and that's always, I think that's the thing with a retake. It's always a timing battle. And that round, actually, Justin did a pretty good job of delaying the push from YorkU, so it wasn't, like, you know, completely, like, harmonious with all their util. But it's always just a timing battle, right? You throw the aftershock too early, you throw the flash, you know, like 5 seconds too early, and now they're actually running into site with, like, with the darts and everything. And it's such like a tight battle, I guess, I think needs to be fought there, and we see that's back and forth. We see some rounds, you know, Waterloo just lock down the site. Some rounds YorkU just run it into the site, and like they lose like basically nobody. So yeah, I mean, so far it's been a pretty A heavy half. I'd
I
say.
feel like we've seen. I think just in general, this game has been so A heavy from both sides. I think it's just kind of that like site that like you see it and you're like, it'd be so fun to just like take the site and fight on the site. And you know, retakes, no matter how like standardized, no matter how much you try and study them, they'll always kind of be a little bit different because there's just so much variety that you can have. And I think, you know, that's what YorkU are trying to discuss. Like, hey, like when they get on the A site, what can we do differently to prevent them? What's been allowing us to win these retakes, and what's been causing us to lose some of them as well? Because it seems like most of the time they have, you know, a player advantage going in, but they're just unable to close it out. Or, you know, if they don't have a player advantage, then they just they can't capitalize off any utility or maybe any plays. And Waterloo, I mean, they're just trying to figure out, you know, how can we keep putting YorkU in these situations where they're uncomfortable and unable to, you know, handle us, unable to fight back.
Yeah, I think so the adaptation now from YorkU has been they just push long. Like, they don't even want to give them the early spaces round. They commit to even the drone onto long. I think he heard the camera.
Yeah, but I don't know if Hef is going to be aware of Peep's positioning here. I think Peep does take down the camera, but now he's going to have to back up, give the space back to Waterloo, and they've understood, you know, they understand it now as they pull up towards this A site. There are still players from YorkU present over here. They have 2 players tucked towards short. Pork and Hef, they might be caught out here, but Pork takes on the first. This time Peep unable to be successful. Levi does get the trade, but Hephaestus is quick to trade that out. Trill, he knows that there's a player out, but Hicks finds one before the smoke goes down, and Trill, he's able to take him down, but now 3v2 situation. YorkU, they've got CEN and they've got Nexus, both healthy, but the players of Waterloo, they are healthy as well.
all roads lead to this fight again and again.
I mean,
like at the beginning, we see that Waterloo, like prod other sites, but at the end of the opt for the same thing. So after all this time and all this adaptation, the same fight is being taken again. And this time, it's YorkU's. It's like watching like a roulette table just spin around.
Yeah,
it's
like
red, black, red,
red,
black,
black.
red, black.
Except it's red gold this time.
Yeah,
You know,
red
we got
gold,
red gold,
yeah,
red gold.
Exactly.
This time it's landed red. I mean, Nexus and CEN, they just take down the members of UW Gold one by one. Nexus finds himself 3 on the round, and YorkU, they've got themselves this 2-round lead now, trying to look to bring this to match point now, as Waterloo's money might be sufficient enough, but Hephaestus, he's not going to be able to buy a rifle this round.
Yeah, YorkU just, their eyes turn white. They go, I understand now. I just have to shoot them
I mean,
like a little bit
that
better.
Timeout, that
yeah,
timeout,
exactly.
like they understood afterwards. I mean, because things have clearly changed as they are able to get that retake now, and you know they've got to set up towards A this time as well. Waterloo, we're gonna see if they want to go back towards this A site. It's been working pretty well for them when it comes to taking the site, but holding it has been a bit of a battle.
Yep, and I think YorkU still going for the game plan where they, take some space on one side at least, so they can. I mean, this is what you do on Haven, like just completely giving out space on 3 sites. Sometimes it's a little bit hard if you're like a solo defender on B or something or an A. So they want to take the space. They want to eliminate the options as a. Ooh,
Clean
goodbye,
shot on the
goodbye,
Peep.
Hef.
I mean, there goes Hephaestus, and I mean, once again, Peep. He's just been he's just been racking up these first bloods left and right. Once again, he just takes so much space, and I think that Waterloo, they either have to completely respect it or they have to fight it. And I mean, Hef just gets caught out there, and it seems like this time Waterloo, they don't really want to go towards A. They're looking towards this B side instead. Here comes the dart to reveal any information, and in comes Trill onto the B site. Here come the smokes potentially at some time soon, but it seems like Waterloo, they don't even really want to plant just yet. They're looking to take some space, but Peep going to be punishing that. Takes down Trill, but P and Pork, they're quick to get some trades on CEN. Finds another one onto Justin, and now here comes Nexus. Takes down P, but not before P gets CEN as well. Pork now, he's all alone in a 1v2 situation. The spike, though, handed right to him. Here comes the neural theft, though, and now the spike goes down. It's a 1v2 situation, and Pork, he has to make that magic happen.
But it's Pork we're talking about, so you never know what's gonna happen. The first thing, he just gets caught with a rolling.
That's the very corner of that.
I think that's just a curse. I think
the
think
caster,
the caster curse.
It's real. It's real.
I was
man.
about to hype him up. I was about to say like he's the man to do it, and then the Rolling Thunder just catches him, and I would like to personally apologize to Pork.
I mean,
for
even
my
still, that is
transgressions.
going to be, that Rolling Thunder committed from the side of YorkU. They also do commit that neural theft as well. And now Waterloo, they've called out this is their first timeout of this entire series so far. I mean, they haven't really been capitalizing on that, but I feel like now it's more important than ever because it's do or die. They got to get these next 3 rounds to bring this into overtime, and they got to figure out, like how can we deny, Peep this early first pick? How can we deny this retake from coming in so quickly? How can we stop losing these picks? And, YorkU, they're just trying to figure out, how can we get Peep more of these first bloods?
Right,
How can we hold these sites down? How can we get this retake up and rolling every single time? And, so far they've been pretty consistent with the retakes. They've been able to get back almost every single retake except for, like a couple that they lost either because, Trill had the finger guns or, Hephaestus got a pick or two, Pork getting a pick or two. And I mean, that's just the name of the game for you, Waterloo. They just have to get as many picks as they can. They have to stop any and all momentum, even within the round, from YorkU. And if they're able to do it this round, it's going to be really important. But, money, it's not looking good.
They're broke.
They're broke.
They have no money.
But sometimes you start from the bottom and you end up way up. So maybe this is the bottom of the barrel buy, but they could come out on top. This
is rock bottom. They can only go up. Yeah.
You always hear these stories of these businessmen. They start with nothing. They got no money. They don't got shoes on, and then suddenly they're billionaires. Maybe Waterloo, they got to channel into this, but I mean that's just not the way you want to start it off. Pork taken down immediately by Peep, punished with the outlaw. Here comes the Rolling Thunder. Finds out, I think, a player or two, but CEN, he's posted up on this platform. He is taken down by Trill, though, but Trill, he's just so low on HP. It's going to be really difficult for him to find any sort of success, and now the spike has to go down. Here it comes, but here comes the not the Rolling Thunder, excuse me, the Hunter's Fury, denying the plant, not finding Trill, though. I mean, it's just so difficult for Warriors right now. Here comes the Owl Drone as well, spots out both the players.
Yeah,
YorkU, they're just being patient. They don't want to give it just yet.
Levi has all the util in the world, and I think, yeah, definitely Trill, he's got to push Garage. He's got to like do something. They're definitely not going to win this 2v4 in a straight up full frontal battle, especially if Trill has 2 HP and YorkU is still holding onto all their utility. So they now opt for the rotate, but there's a tripwire here.
I mean, combined, these players don't even have enough HP for... They don't even have full HP and full shield, if you think about it, because Hef is still on that light shield. And Peep, he's trying to find a Hephaestus. He does. And now Trill, on just 2 HP, he's gotta win this on a wing and a prayer.
If Trill clutches this, I will go bald.
If Trill clutches this, I'll go bald too. Let's do it. Let's go bald together if Trill clutches this. He does find the first, but it's not gonna be enough. Peep with the Blade Storm takes him down, and YorkU, they're gonna be taking that first map happily in their hands. And I mean, that was just a really big back and forth battle between both the teams. But at the end of the day, YorkU, they were able to figure out what they wanted to do on defense after, you know, UW, they got those early rounds in, but I don't think they were able to capitalize off that early aggression they had. And, you know, YorkU, they just take the map. I mean, they're pretty happy off that one. It was looking a little bit rough.
And yeah, the momentum, you know, kind of never ended for YorkU. We definitely, I think we talked about this too, that you know, like going into attack, like Waterloo, like we might see some different strats. We might see that, you know, like with this Neon, this might be especially destructive, you know, on an attacker-sided map. But YorkU do a really good job of shutting out these sites. And man, Peep this game.
I mean, I'm just curious as to how many first bloods he got, because it seems like every single round, attack, defense, he was just on it. Like that's really what you want out of your duelist. You want them to take that first fight. You want them to find success in that first fight. And it seems like every single time that Peep was taking that first fight, he was able to find, you know, success, and he was able to get, you know, one early on every single round pretty much. I mean, I think the only rounds where he did lose those first bloods was to Pork in a short. It seems like, and then he kind of just started respecting it. He was like, you know what, Pork, you can have a short. I'm gonna explore my avenues. I'm gonna go towards C. I'm gonna get a first blood there. I'm gonna explore towards A. I'm gonna find a pick there. I'm gonna find a pick there too. So I mean, Waterloo, they're going to need to figure out some footing. They're going to need to figure out what they want to do going into the next map. I believe it's Sunset, the next map. So we'll catch you guys on Sunset. We'll see you there soon, and we'll cut to a quick break, and then we'll be back with you.
Welcome back. I hope that was enough time for everybody to run a Subway, get a snack, go to Tim Hortons, get a roast beef sandwich or a meatball sub or whatever.
Or some chili,
Or some chili.
Some chili, maybe a little coffee to freshen up, prepare yourself for the next epic game we got ready. My hair's messed up too, but you know what? That doesn't matter because we're going in to the second map. YorkU, they're coming off that first map win. They did take down Waterloo Gold on Haven, if you are just now tuning in, and we're going into the second map, which is Sunset. And Waterloo, once again, they're going to be on the defense side. And, Sunset's a map that's just recently had a couple of changes. They just changed the lighting, which I don't know if you've seen, but the map looks more refreshing.
It looks more like Sunset.
Yeah, it actually feels like a sunset. And, like the map now, it's a lot different. I mean, they've got that B site change where there's no longer that unbreakable tripwire.
Yes.
And I mean, thank God for that, because wow, was B site so unfun to take
All
against
my
a Cypher.
homies hate having to pick Raze.
It's like Raze or Sova.
Sova.
It just makes it so much less fun. And I mean, you already see UW Gold. They're taking advantage of the fact that they don't really got to break that tripwire anymore. They're not running Raze or Sova. They've got that Neon and they've got that Gecko. And I think having that Gecko as well, it's so important because, getting that plant down in a lot of situations is, it's crucial. And being able to just have the wingman, the little bro, he just goes in, does his thing, and then, I mean, everyone's there ready for the post plant. And on a site like B, where now you can't really plant fully for main anymore, you have to plant that, tiny little corner. It's a lot more difficult. And, I think that York, they might have something cooking. They might have something ready for this attack. Now that they don't have the wingman, they have, I believe, the Breach and the Sova on their team.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
It's pretty much the same composition that they were running last map.
Yeah, I think both teams basically.
Yeah, but I think they have I think they had a Raze. I didn't actually check, but I mean, both teams, they're going in for this fight. I mean, both of these teams we've seen, they go for this early round default. They go for some information early round, but then they kind of just they go in, they punch, and then they just strike. I mean, that's just kind of the way that both of these teams have been working out. Same with these retakes. They just come in, try and take as much space, try and get that site back in their hands. So, I mean, going into this next map, I'm just really excited. Sunset. I love seeing this new refreshed sunset look. It's really nice to see.
And I was about to mention that just for the Gecko, the Gecko A-Tech, I still remember a game of Premier I played, and my friends just made me throw that flash.
Oh yeah.
For the whole round.
I mean that.
It's are you throwing the flash?
You're kind of just bound. When
yes, honey.
Are you ready for your flashing of A main again? And
yes, honey. And
seems like both of these teams are already ready to get the fight in, as both teams actually get themselves a pick each. But now YorkU, they want to take that advantage. They do take down another, and Peep, he's been influential last map. He's trying to bring that back this map as well. He takes down another, and now Waterloo, they have 2 players left on this retake. It seems like York, they wanted to take A, but now they're actually looking towards going back B, and it seems like Waterloo, they might have a read on this.
Yeah, it's like a fight. Both teams are kind of fighting demons at the moment. YorkU are leaving a completely open site because they want to run this fake, and Warriors are they're gonna actually give it a fake and come Bs, and yeah, at the end of the day, Waterloo is the one with the right lead, but they have to make his numbers different work. The paranoia actually gonna be crazy, hitting 4 people, but that's not gonna be a conversion for P. Which now means that with all this util, YorkU are going to flood the site. P decides to run into the smoke. The right click kills everybody on York. And in the moment that we counted him out, I was about to say the util, it's over.
I mean, it's too much. That dart came out. But P, I mean, the right click, I mean, they just nerfed that. They put it in the patches. Hey, we're done with this classic right click BS. But P, he doesn't care. He just walks in that smoke, finds the first, finds the second, and finds the third, getting himself 4 on the round. I mean, that's just that was crazy work. That was just crazy work.
That was cinema.
I mean, that was cinema. He saw the dart coming in, and he knew exactly what he had to do. I'm not even sure if he knew he was going to be able to do that, but, he did it. So, who cares?
He saw the future. Where he did that, and then
he understood it. He understands it now.
He understands it now.
Exactly. I mean, and the lethal shooter coming in, it's going to be Trill with the Marshall in his hand, takes down the first, but DeQuavius Porky is traded by CEN. CEN, although, is unable to get this other pick onto Trill, and now Trill, he's just farming with this Marshall. He finds himself the third on the round, but Nexus, he's quick to take him down with the Sheriff in his hands. Now it's just 2 players of YorkU remaining, but UW, they also only have 3 players of their own.
Yeah, they say inflation is out of control these days, but they've never seen me inflate my kills. Round 2 with the
These
Marshall.
these ecos. I love eco frags, man. I mean, they make you feel good. Who's gonna complain about it? It's
Exactly. No one on your team complains if you get eco crags. Same time, like Trill managed to lock down Elbow F, is playing a dangerous game by turning away here.
Ooh, clean shot from Hicks there. Actually cleans Hephaestus' head smooth off. And now it's still an even position. It's a 2v2 situation, but the guns are in favor of UW. Justin is going to be exploring this avenue, trying to find a pick maybe. And I don't know if York is fully aware. It seems like Hicks. He's going to give up the position, though. And now Justin, he's actually pushing out. He doesn't know that they're elbow. There's no one looking elbow. And it seems like the site is
what
all
an
York
odd
use.
round. Oh my god.
Wait, they're fully rotating. They think it's B.
I think they still
They think it's B.
They still
They
think it's B. They still think it's B.
Oh,
they didn't
no.
hear the plan.
Oh no.
They're like, wait, guys.
Wait, where's the spike? Wait, where's the spike? No. Oh no. Now it's. I mean, that's just tough. That's tough. They gotta. I mean, now the guns are in the hands of YorkU too. I think they've picked up maybe a gun or two. Nexus, he still does have the sheriff, but I mean, time just ticked down, and now Waterloo, they're gonna have to be fast with this retake. They can't take their sweet time anymore.
Yeah, and even if they overcook, then they can still make up this difference, especially if Hicks misses that shot. It's going to be P versus Nexus. But however, Justin manages to make up for somewhat of a disaster.
A slight miscalculation.
Yes,
I think there might have been some mishaps in the communication. There's some I think it's all clear. I think they're going B, but quietly YorkU, they had that timing. I mean, it was just like that sight line between Hicks and Justin. Justin just barely got caught off time, and Hicks also just barely got caught off time there. And, I mean, YorkU, they're probably still a little bit happy after that round. They took down 4 players of U Waterloo, and they also got themselves that spike down as well. So they've got they're Mr. Moneybags right now. They got all the money they need.
Yeah, and it looks like maybe Trill is gonna do the neon thing and just sprint out, with all the breach util with the Gecko Flash, but unfortunately for them, it's gonna be Peep making their way into B right now as the tripwire not thrown yet from Hef. Yeah, it's gonna be just a
quiet little round,
quiet little round. Sometimes
back,
you can't
relax.
Always have the rounds where someone runs into a smoke and gets a 3K with a classic right click. Sometimes you have to have rounds, like where everyone's like a low key chill guy.
Oh yeah,
I mean, like when your team is in a CEN game, but you're just a low key chill guy. Like,
yeah,
what
it's
can
like,
you
I mean,
do?
you think you're on the attack side, but like, when your team wants you to execute, but you're low-key just a chill guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it seems like there's a chill little drone coming in, trying to find out any information. Indeed, does spot out Hephaestus, but not as quickly as Peep finds out Trill takes him down. And now Waterloo, they're looking towards this rotate. It seems like YorkU, they're pushing in, but DeQuavius, a quick 2 bullets to take down CEN and Peep. The Aftershock also going to be taking down another player. Now YorkU, they've got 2 players remaining now, and Waterloo, suddenly they have the player advantage.
30 seconds
Yeah.
left.
Oh my. Pork. Pork definitely seems to have York's number. Like in all of these rounds, right? They should be called PorkU.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Pork just fathered them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, Pork really seems to have, YorkU's number in these rounds. They have been the ones that's been shutting. He has been the one that's been shutting down,
10 seconds
all these attempts. Even in the game they lost last round, Pork was the one who consistently clutched up, managed to get those plays. And at the end of the day,
Do they have time to get
do
the
they have
spike
time
down?
for this?
Oh,
Okay,
they
they
do.
do have time.
Okay.
So we were worried about nothing.
But now, they have to hold down the site. They have to hold down, contest that spike. But they're not going to be able to contest that peak from Justin. As he takes down Hicks, I mean, the breach on breach action, it's been left and right, but this time it's going to be Justin taking the advantage. The paranoia is actually not going to connect on the Levi as he does find out Peep. That's the first for him, but Hephaestus, he's there to close out the round. And, Waterloo, it was looking tough for them. They had the guns in their hands, though. And now YorkU, they're going to be losing that rifle round. I mean, losing that bonus, that's going to be that's going to be rough for them.
Yeah, that is definitely, now we have to really consider, what does York's play? They've tried playing slow, they've tried playing skirmishes. They had a round where Waterloo just went to another planet and came back. But now it's gonna be them on the eco. The good thing about eco rounds, I feel like always, is there's less pressure on yourself. Obviously, you can afford to be a little bit wacky, a little bit quirky,
A little bit silly.
a little bit silly. With your executes, with the type of plays you make.
You can get jiggy with it,
Yeah.
perchance.
And if you win, you feel real good.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's always nice to, win while having fun, right? So I mean, that Waterloo, I hope they're having fun. I mean, we're having fun, right?
We're having fun. We're all having fun.
But Peep's not having fun. He's taken down by Justin, Pork, and Shrill, finding 2 more. And P, through the smoke, through the dark cover, finds Hicks as well. Levi, I mean, he's got to make this happen with the Sheriff. Tries to find the first, but it's going to be a flawless round coming in from Waterloo. They're happy. They're looking good. I mean, right now, it looks like the way that it was looking for York on their attack side. On Haven.
Yeah, Waterloo just looked confident, I guess. I have to say it. They
want revenge.
Yeah, they want their revenge. They want to say that, like, you won Haven, but we're gonna stomp you, right? We're gonna stomp you, on Sunset and take this to a 3rd map. That's what Waterloo want to say. And right now they look like they have the confidence to back it up. We had rounds where York was pushing. That round York was pushing into the garage. The eco round, it looked. Like YorkU managed to, make it take a little bit of space, but all the util flies in over top. That's going to be Waterloo and just surrounding them, collapsing on them, completely stopping out their hopes and dreams as we see a Breach holding his ult into the wall, which is always very scary to see on Sunset.
I mean, yeah, that Breach ult covers just so much space, especially on this B site. I mean, it can take pretty much that entire site out. And Waterloo, I think they know about this Rolling Thunder on the side of YorkU. Yep. But just as quickly as I can speak, Trill, he finds that first pick onto Levi, and that's going to be some utility for the Execute, taking down Pork, finding the second on the round onto Peep. CEN trying to get it back in blood, just looking for a pick, but I mean, the players of YorkU, they're just falling over like dominoes.
Yeah, and Warriors seem to have really found their footing. They find the gunfight they want to take. And at the end of the day, again, it's Waterloo winning the gunfights all across the map. There's no avenue for entry for YorkU to strike a weak point, to find a place of contention for them. If you lose B, you lose mid, and there's the Cypher set up on A, like, what do you do, right?
I mean, yeah, it's difficult. And now it's all up to Nexus. He's in a 1v5 situation. He could make something happen as he finds the first onto Hephaestus.
And that's going to be Nexus finding his way onto A slowly as Pork is out for blood. He has a Sheriff out. Nexus at 30 HP. I think Waterloo were completely aware of this. The stuns are there to discourage the plant. 7 HP. And a dream for Nexus.
The tripwire.
Yeah, Justin
the swing from Trill.
Justin is swinging at the tripwire with his knife.
Yeah, like you see him through the wall. I mean, he was not happy with that tripwire. He just whacked it. But, it's not going to be enough. Nexus does go down, but now the ultimates, I mean, there's a healthy amount of ultimates on both teams. Each player, they've pretty much got their ultimates, except for Hephaestus and Peep. Peep can still get his ultimate as well if he chooses to pick up an orb here. But this could be another one of those chaotic rounds that we just love to see.
Yeah, and I think especially in both rounds, where in rounds where teams ult spam, it's always like, if you can time your ultimate like slightly better than your opponents, it's basically you've completely nullified it. And I think that's Waterloo's plan here too. They have the Breach util ready. The Rolling Thunder probably going to come out over top. If Trill
Peep
just doesn't kill Peep there.
I mean, I feel bad for Peep. You saw that poor guy just wanted to grab his ultimate, maybe get a Bladestorm active, and there came the fault line, there came the paranoia, and of course, there came Trill with the gun in his hands too.
Peep was like, for me? I was like, no. That is not for you. And they have the read on the, you hold tab, you look at the ult points, and you're like,
he's gonna grab that orb.
You know what? Hold the stun. Hold the stun on that orb. And unfortunately, Peep falls hook, line, and sinker into Waterloo's trap as Hef, maintaining his position, maintaining his trips. He has one cage to his name, but at the end of the day, Waterloo seem more than happy to play the retake now.
And CEN, he's taking this advantageous positioning on top, and here comes that Thrash trying to find out a player or two. Here also comes that Rolling Thunder. Here's another Rolling Thunder coming in, and it's the finger guns from Trill. The overdrive activated. Gonna find himself one already. CEN taken down, and now Justin finding himself another on the round. Trill does not care that there's mosh pit there. He just goes in, finds a third, finds the fourth. I mean, what can you do against that? That's just disrespectful.
Yeah, nasty round from Trill there. Sometimes these rounds with Neon don't feel fair, especially if they have the ultimate. It's kind of like how you play Yoru Breach combos with the ult, but you don't even need to be in another dimension to capitalize. You can just run around with the finger guns, and at the end of the day, there's not much counterplay that York can do. They went for the elbow plant too.
Yeah, I mean, Trill just had fun. He just ran, and then he was he ran and held mouse 1 on 4 people. And YorkU could do nothing but stare.
Like, how come my gameplay doesn't? How come my gameplay doesn't look like that? You know, I want to have fun.
That's
you know,
what
I
I'm
want to.
saying.
No, I want to run
Neon.
around.
We should pick up Neon.
Yeah, exactly. I should pick up Neon,
Let's
but
lose, man.
and I want a breach like Justin,
Oh yeah.
who just like
7
he's
assists.
right there. Exactly, he's right there.
It's like every round, Justin has pretty much provided his team with at least some form of utility that's aided them in getting a pick or two. And I mean, that's just like, that's what you want out of a breach player.
And now YorkU switch things up a little bit. They're going to go for a straight execute on to the site, as looks good for them at the start now. Getting a pick means that they'll have the site completely open to themselves, but Nexus looks good, looks even better. Nexus takes one, takes down Pork. It's going to be 2, maybe 3, one more for Peep, as Hef is the only one left on the side of UW Gold. And yeah, there's 3 people outside this smoke.
I mean, he swings and he's just caught in the middle of 3 people holding him completely in that smoke. CEN finds himself that last pick on the round, and YorkU, they're finally on the board after getting themselves a much-needed round after stopping all that momentum that Waterloo was having. But now, Waterloo, they've got so much money to fall back on. The operator back in the hands of Trilogy.
Yeah, and we see that, like Trilogy with the operator showed so much destructive potential last game that this is kind of like when you beat phase 1 of the boss, and then this
he's
evolved.
in phase 2.
Now he's in phase 2 right now. You got to deal with his operator somehow. They've been doing Waterloo's been doing a good job of comboing until util to take all this space B. And yeah, Peep had no idea that was coming.
I mean, that was just quick and snappy. Peep taken down. I mean, he's not able to find the first bloods like he was last time, and I think that's been a big game changer for Waterloo. It seems like Trill, he's been the one who's getting a lot of these first bloods, especially in B main. I mean, there's nothing YorkU can really do to stop him. They might need to start committing utility earlier, and I think that's what you Waterloo want.
Yeah, they've been caught so many times, just in that B fight, just because Trill is right there with a swing with all their utility, and it's just really hard to take that fight on quote-unquote fair fights, especially in that location. So yeah, we definitely need to see some more adaptation from York. They've opted to rotate everything to A, but this is where the Cypher is, and this is where the Gecko is, where the Breach has ran the marathon, has made it all the way to A site. So now I feel like Waterloo might try to give them a hard time when they're going into the site itself.
It seems like Justin, Hef, and Pork are ready to swing out of the smoke. Dark cover going to give YorkU just a little bit of safety, but Hephaestus finds himself one through the smoke. Here comes the blind, the flash point. It does connect with all the members of Waterloo. YorkU, they are able to take down 2, but Hephaestus trades out Levi as quickly as he can. And now the spike still isn't down. Only 20 seconds left for YorkU, and P, he's waiting so patiently around the corner. Takes that perfect timing. And Nexus goes down. It's all up to Hicks, and not enough time for him to make anything happen. Waterloo, they're not backing down this map. They really want to go. They really want to make they really want to go to map 3, excuse me.
Yeah, and that was just a whole lot of holding down Mouse 1, like the flashes, the number of stuns, the smokes. That was a whole lot of holding M1 on that side, but at the end of the day, Waterloo managed to secure another round. And yes, it is timeout time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, hopefully you guys have missed our faces seeing us in our primes. But I think what we really want to figure out is what YorkU are going to do to try and bring this back. I mean, they're down 6 rounds already, and it feels like the game just started, but they're already falling behind so quickly. And it seems like Waterloo, they just know so much about what YorkU are doing. I think that first map really gave them the edge that they needed, and we got some free cam action over here. We got some nodding going on. We got some spinning action. Oh yeah, let's hit a dance move too. I mean, YorkU, they really got to bring this back. We have this beautiful angle on Trill here, who's kind of been the difference maker in this map. I mean, he's been dominating. He's got that operator in his hands now as well.
Yeah, I mean, we see that the observer knows perfectly who the man of the match is. We're doing some K-pop camera spin moves around.
Little fan cam for Trill.
Exactly,
Put that in every Twitter thread you can see. Put that in every comment section. Let's get that Trill fan cam going.
Exactly. I want to see an edit with a lot of hearts in it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I need those spinning transitions. And
exactly.
Trill, the beautiful neon, the difference maker. You know?
The difference maker of the game. And speaking of difference, I think YorkU are going for more of a conservative play now. They actually want to take some more space mid. they tried to do that one thing or two mid, I think. You know, like sometimes they tried to do the mid thing, but
and I think Hicks is
yeah.
hitting himself in the head.
Put that in the fan cam montage.
I mean, that's just the problem with the Phantom. I mean, they did buff it recently to make it so, you know, you can't really hit for 124 anymore, and it feels like the 156, the one-shot headshot is a bit more consistent, but at a range like that, it's not going to be enough, and, you know, Trill, he just escapes barely. He's got 10 HP left, but the operator's still active, and he's holding that line mid and giving his teammates the get-go that, you know, it looks like they're going towards A. I mean, P's got all of B site, or pretty much the entry on B site locked down as well.
Yep, and looks like this time you are already, or maybe not, as Pork, I think, didn't expect that updraft combo from the Jet, as Hev manages to slink away with his life and 10 HP. That means that that's going to be enough for the Neural Theft as Waterloo prepare a full-on retake, starting with the Paranoia.
Yeah, from the shadows to get P ready for this retake as quick as he can be. And here comes Trill as well. Here comes the blind. It actually is going to connect onto both players, but CEN, he's going to be the one to take down P. And just as quickly as that retake started, it ended. And YorkU, they're going to pick themselves up the second round, a much-needed round for them. And they do lose a couple of guns in the process, but I think they are still going to be pretty healthy when it comes to economy. But, I mean, not nearly as healthy as Waterloo is.
Yeah, and again, it's Peep that really goes huge on that round, getting the first pick onto Gecko, which could have added a lot of resistance for Waterloo on that site, is absolutely huge. And yeah, like they looked alive that round for the first time in something like 7 rounds, which you know, which is a good thing to see for them, right? We need to see, you know, for York, they want to keep this going. They want to not be stifled by the operator so much. And now it's out. I don't know if he rebought it, but like getting stopped by that op, you know, was the problem on YorkU's end for the longest time. So they need to keep it going.
And it seems like they're going back towards this A site, the last site that they were able to have success on. I mean, I don't think that Pork was really expecting that updraft play to come in from Peep, and, you know, I think Peep was just able to capitalize off of that. And, you know, the spy cam, it is going to go down as well now. And Waterloo, they seem to already be quickly pivoting back towards the A site. Hephaestus, though, he's completely given the site, and YorkU, they're still respecting the setup, and they're looking to dash in. Now here comes Peep, and the aggression is coming in. YorkU, they're looking to just take the site and plant the spike as soon as they can.
Yep, there's going to be no kills on either side into the site. Take the bomb. Isn't tapped yet, but okay, Pork.
Was that just through the smoke? Was that
I think that was.
I know it was Hicks again. It was Hicks again.
It was Hicks again. He is the most. What do you say?
Unfortunate.
Yeah, he's punching air right. I would punch air right now.
Yeah, but it seems like it doesn't really matter that he went down, because YorkU, I mean, they just punished Waterloo on their retake. They didn't even need to get that spike down, and I mean, it seems all of them just went down left and right. And YorkU, they're looking a little bit better now. They're starting to get some rounds, starting to get that momentum back and stop Waterloo in their tracks. And now Waterloo, they don't have a full buy. They do have full shields and rifles across the board, but the Guardian in the hands of P and Justin, it's gonna be a little bit of a rough round for them. But, you know, YorkU, they're trying to fight back. They're trying to get some footing back, trying to make this a 7-5 half.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job in getting the site and actually holding it this time. I think a lot of times they were having trouble, you know, winning the retake, winning the initial fight against Trilogy, but now York seems to have adapted a little bit. I think one thing I noticed from York these rounds is they put a lot more emphasis on mid. So maybe they have a better idea of which site to go. Maybe, you know, kind of be more flexible with their game plan, which is what we like to see. But yeah, again, they're playing it kind of slow, and maybe that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, they've been chilling. They're trying to get some of this mid space with Peep and CEN posted up in middle, but the crossfire is being held. There goes the door, the fault line to help clear it out, and it's going to be Trill. He's alone here on site. Not really, or he has reinforcements. Justin is also there to fight. Justin does try and take the first fight onto Levi. He is taken down, though. And here comes the overdrive in the hands of Trill. This time not going to find any success. Peep swings out of the fast lane, finds himself the headshot on to Trill, and P in the midst of the fire goes down as well. It's a 2v4 situation, and Pork, he's just trying to clear out mid, trying to make his way back to Hephaestus, but this retake is just looking a little bit too difficult.
The first person he has to beat is Peep. The flash is going to be thrown over top, but no, Peep locks down the site. He doesn't need anybody else. He's good by himself. He takes out Pork, he takes out Hef, and he's also the one that shut down the Neon ult as well by pushing through the fast lane. And yeah, YorkU, seems to have found their footing, you know, before it got too late, before they got to like a 9-3 or a 10-2 or something. So YorkU definitely, that timeout, whatever they did, whatever they talked about, you know, keep talking about it, keep the pace up, because we have really a game on our hands now as we see that, you know, Levi is the only one with ult. Maybe Justin will try to take some space and get the ult orb, but we have to see what kind of A strat they're cooking once again.
Yeah, and if
the trilogy's on there.
Yeah, if Justin or Pork are able to get, you know, a kill or an orb, they both do have their ultimates available, and that could be the difference maker of the round. But Trill trying to be the difference maker is not going to be him. He is taken down as quickly as he slides in by Hicks, and now YorkU, they have some space towards B main.
Oh my God, Hef is fearing for his life.
I mean, it seems like those shock darts were like magnetic to his body. He hits them both times. He's down to just 30 HP. Here comes the paranoia from Trill, but here comes the execute from YorkU as well. The shots not going to be enough. Here comes the Judge in the dark cover, finds one, unable to find the second as the spike goes down. Now, Justin, he does have his ultimate available. He's hovering it, holding it, potentially waiting for Pork's flank. Seems like Hicks is aware of this flank, though. Here comes the Rolling Thunder. It is actually going to miss, I think, everyone. I don't think anyone was hit, and CEN finds the first. He takes down Justin. Here comes Thrash, looking for at least one player. It's not going to connect.
And he saw both of them. Thrash wasn't able to get anything, and yeah, YorkU have nothing to lose by just holding this push. All his little buddies,
no,
all the buddies just must sit out here and watch
and there goes
as the
Thrash.
spike slowly ticks down. It's gonna be Wingman going out next, and Pork, just like his buddies, are snuffed out in the end. It's gonna be a 7-5 half. Still, you know, like, despite how, you know, like doom and gloom we casted that last round, it is still a 7-5 round for the side of UW Gold.
Yeah, I mean, YorkU, they're still pretty happy after the performance they had in the half. I mean, things were looking a little bit rough going into the start. I mean, down 6-0, it was looking a little bit rough, but it's the same way that, you know, Waterloo was looking down in that first half as well. You know, they were looking down. They were down 5-0, and then they managed to come back at themselves a 5-7 half. And now Waterloo, this time, they have the round advantage. They're up 7-5, and they're on the attack. I mean, Trill, you already see how like dominant he is on these retakes, and you know, he's just running in. And it seems like he's going to bring that same energy towards this attack as well, as we see Waterloo already positioned towards A, looking to go fast.
Or
maybe
slow.
not fast.
Or
maybe
slow.
not fast.
I mean, that's the thing about the Neon, right? You can go fast. You know, you would think that every round with Neon is a rush, but you know, sometimes you just gotta wait for the perfect timing.
Ooh, this sight line. It's a little bit dangerous for Peep. I think he knows that it's a bit dangerous, and you can already see the fault line is coming to connect onto him. I think it does hit him, but he's able to get himself back into a little position where he's safe. Here comes the bullets, though. Connects onto Trill's head, but P, he's there to get that trade on as well. And now it seems like Waterloo, they want to take this A site, but the players of YorkU are already positioned here. Here Hicks and here CEN.
If I know Hicks, he's gonna just get shot through this.
I pray he doesn't get shot through the smoke again. But CEN, though, coming in fast to take down Justin.
He
but the
died to the
aftershock!
aftershock.
No, Hicks!
No,
Oh, the
Hicks.
bullets from Levi! They're not going to connect either in P. The pistol round menace gets himself the third. And that's going to be the round for Waterloo. I mean, Hicks, man, I feel bad, bro. It's just so much. It's either through the smoke, it's the aftershock. But I mean, his utility's been looking good. It's been helping out YorkU time and time again. You know, PP did get that first blood, but it was not enough for YorkU to capitalize off of as they take that pistol round. The pistol round swings in favor of UW.
And I think Trill might just run it elbow once again, but this time
with
with a Bucky.
I'm down. I mean, I'm down with the Bucky. You already know.
Oh,
The
that,
wa-
was,
the
that was a fast lane of all time, certainly. And
Might
that
be-
stun.
That was less of a fast lane, more of a fast alley, a fast.
Like a fa. Like, you know,
Not
not
all
even
the way there.
not even a fast, like a fa, you know.
A medium-paced lane.
Yeah, and I know that, you know, he would, like, if I throw a fast lane like that, you know, definitely I'm shook, right? I'm a little bit
You're
shook after
reassessing
that.
a little bit,
After
but
reassess the situation, and Peep is, you know, just right there to capitalize on it. But at the end of the day, UW Gold take the site, take the plant, and it's gonna be Shun with a classic and a dream.
Oh, the timing is so
Yeah,
unlucky. He goes for
yeah.
that dark cover, and just as he does, Hephaestus swinging out with the Spectre, taking him down. And Waterloo, they're still pretty happy after that round. I mean, they only lost Trill, and he still has a lot of money to fall back on. I mean, he did only buy a Bucky, and he might honestly go for another Bucky, maybe even a Judge this time around if he wants, but seems like Waterloo, they want to take this back towards the A site. It's been pretty difficult for YorkU to hold this down when Trill just comes in swinging, but you know, YorkU, they might have something planned for the A site here. They've already got 3 players stationed towards A.
Yeah, and this is, I think, definitely the merit of playing Neon on Sunset, is that
There's
Neon,
a fast lane.
Yeah, Neon is, a proper fast lane, wow. But I think that's definitely the merit of playing Neon on these kinds of, in Sunset, because Neon is just so specialized in winning that elbow fight, and especially in A, like, taking elbow is super, super important as a... Now Trill is running around with a Bucky one
Nexus.
more time. Okay, but Nexus gets 2 back, but unfortunately falls victim to the crazy lady running around with a shotgun. But now it's gonna be Hicks and Levi. Hicks very, very careful not to play in front of smokes too much this time. But,
Yeah, the Aftershock is going to spot out P in a very difficult position. Not much he can do there. The drone also spots out Trill. Dart going to be connecting. He finds himself the second and the third, but it's not going to be enough. He's taken down, and three members of YorkU taken down with him as well. I mean, Waterloo, they do get that spike down as well. Money's looking healthy for them, but YorkU, they're going to have to make something happen this round because they've just lost 3 players, and that's 3 rifles gone in the favor of UW.
yeah, I mean, we saw this pattern before too, right? It looks like YorkU managed to claw a round back, but then Waterloo ran away with it again. Kind of like the reverse of last game in a way, where like York were the ones in the driver's seat, and then sometimes like they fall out a little bit, and then and then Waterloo grabs
driver's seat?
Yeah, Waterloo like, grabs the steering wheel, and then YorkU just like push them back, like. But at the end of the day, no operators this time on either team, especially not on Trill. Or
operating on the attack
on the
as
attack
Neon
side
might be a little rough.
I've seen something play Gecko with an operator and just jumping around corners on attack.
I mean, something.
That's
like
true.
He's just that guy.
That's true.
I mean, Trill's also this different guy. He gets spotted out by the tripwire, but he's not punished by Nexus. Nexus has to back up, give up the site. Here comes a dart, though. Quickly broken, and now Waterloo, they have a full 5-man post plant, and you know, they might just tuck main here, play for the spam through the smoke, because that's just so strong on a site like Ascent, or not Ascent, Sunset B.
Yep, they may have reworked the site a little bit, but nothing changes about the fact that if you have 5 people spamming through a smoke on one angle, it's going to be a little bit difficult to win those rounds if you're the site trying to defuse that spike. As P, yep, this is what you got to do. You got to run through the smoke. You got to make sure that people, can't hold M1 on that spike. But
wait, Justin got detained by the Thrash. I didn't even realize that happened. I think that was a little bit of a miscalculation there from Pork, but P originally drops down from that box, finds himself the last 2 on the round. UW getting themselves up to this 10-6, getting themselves double digits in these rounds, and now they've got money to fall back on too, but YorkU, unfortunately, do not.
Yeah, they're going for the hero rifle. They're going for the chosen one type play.
I mean, it's Peep. He's that first blood. He's that first blood getter. He's that difference maker in these rounds. And next round, he's going to have that Blade Storm available too. So he's confident buying this Vandal, trying to find maybe a pick, maybe 2, if he's lucky. But Waterloo, seems like they're not really interested in taking this mid space just yet. I didn't even know you can jump up on here, actually. But Peep.
No, learn something new every day, I guess.
I guess so. I mean, Peeps, he's got this position now. And the flash actually does connect Dizzy onto Peep. But the players of Waterloo, they might not be aware of his positioning in mid. The Thrash, but he got the Thrash, or the Wingman hit P as well as Levi there. The gun delivered straight to him. Hephaestus finding himself 1, 2, and 3. And now YorkU, it's just Levi left. He was stuck in this corner. Hit with the Wingman, trying to make something happen, but Hephaestus 4 on the round, the difference maker, getting himself the eco frags, but it didn't feel like that much of an eco round after the pick came in there.
Yeah, and that was a full-on mid scuffle, right? It was especially on eco rounds, you can go like we mentioned before, you can go for wacky plays, you can go for quirky takes, you can go for rushes, but at the end of the day, it just turns into a full-on gunfight. In mid versus Hef versus kind of the entirety of YorkU. But when you have a Phantom, you know, in those situations, yeah, it's gonna be a slaughter.
Yeah, we got a
That's
beautiful
that's my face.
yeah, that's our faces after these past couple of matches. I mean, it's been shocking, truly. And I mean, the man of the hour or the man who was of the hour. I mean, now it's kind of shifted more towards Trill. We're kind of just getting like an up close and personal with all the members of UW Gold right now as they take YorkU actually take another timeout to try and figure out what they really want to do here, what they want to figure out. I mean, all the players of UW, they're looking confident. I mean, look at Trill. He's
ready
got the
to
stance.
run.
You see that? Like
he's like let me in, coach. Right?
Yeah, he's like, I mean, there's no stopping this man. I mean, he's been going into sites. He's been getting that information, getting that space for his team. And I mean, Waterloo, they've been capitalizing off that so much in this attack. You even saw last round, you know, maybe he didn't have impact in terms of kills, but he was just able to get that space mid when it was needed. And you know, I think unfortunately what's going on with the knife? This is a new knife?
This is a
new knife leaked. New knife leaked.
You saw it
live
here first,
on you,
folks.
Waterloo GG. This is why you guys are following us. This is why you guys watch the stream. We give you the latest news, the latest information in the best way possible, in the hands of P and the Omen. And here comes the execute towards the A site from the shadows, committed by P. He's actually spotted out, unfortunately, by Nexus. The tripwires, though, they're going to connect both of them onto Trill, unfortunately. But the site now is completely open and all in the hands of Waterloo Gold. But the retake is coming in as fast as it can. The spike is still down. Peep trying to connect the Blade Storm, but it's going to go a little wide onto the players. I mean, trade after trade, it's havoc on the site. And it's all up to Justin. He's on a sliver of HP, and he has to grab the spike, but the players of YorkU so carefully.
Technology.
Oh, man. I mean, that little crab scuttling across. I mean, I don't think Justin could even expect that. I mean, what a swing coming in from Hicks there. Takes down the last member of UW. And I mean, that was just such a back and forth round. I mean, there was trades left and right. The spike wasn't able to go down. And I think ultimately that was Waterloo's demise.
Yeah, I mean, the wingman dying, you know, in the middle of sight there means that it's going to turn into a gunfight. And when you're a member down on those things, yeah, it's definitely, you know, really hard for Waterloo. So timeout well called for the side of YorkU. Well played, you know, from them to kind of show that they still are in the game. It's 11-7. Game's definitely far from over. But this time, Waterloo is throwing a little bit of a curveball with the entire team walking over Trill with the Bucky. Levi has fear in his eyes. He is full of doubt as blue-haired lady just runs around the corner, blasts him into oblivion, as it's going to be a 4v5 quickly secured for Waterloo, including that bomb going down. And yeah, Trill has just, you know, like
he just ran in.
He flipped a paper clip to a house just now. You know, he runs in with a Bucky. He gets the Vandal on his hands. He's sitting behind the box. They have no idea he's there.
Oh, he finds himself the first, but CEN or Peep is able to get that trade for CEN now. It's a post-plant situation. Here comes a Rolling Thunder. It's actually going to force a different position for all the players of UW, but here comes a counter Rolling Thunder in the hands of Justin, and now YorkU, they can't really capitalize off of the Rolling Thunder anymore. And here comes the gunfire left and right. Hephaestus with the Stinger in his hands finds himself 3, and P, the last player, P onto Peep with the Stinger, takes him down, and that's an eco round. It swung in the favor of UW. I mean, they're looking really happy after that because now they force YorkU on a bit of an eco buy, and they've got the rifles happily in their hands.
Yeah, and that's always the danger of playing close to main if you're on defense on the... No, sorry, not even if you're...
Against that Neon. Yeah, it's just Neon,
yeah,
man.
If you're on defense or attack, it doesn't matter. If you're playing that angle, you have to be ready for Neon. You have to be ready for her to slide around the corner with Breach Util, with Gecko. You know, Levi basically stood no chance there with how much stuff was thrown at him as they're looking... Yeah, Waterloo was trying to make another victim at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, just poor Levi there, just getting caught out in that corner. He tried to make something happen, but stun after stun, he just couldn't really do it. And here comes another fault line, forcing Nexus potentially off of sight.
Ooh,
the Phantom spray a little bit shaky, but the bullets, they make their way onto Nexus's head. Trill escaping with just a sliver of HP, and now it's a 5v4 retake situation once again. Hephaestus, he's a little bit patient on this lurk, potentially waiting for a rotate, and P is right there with him. He might be looking to take down the market door. Here comes the tap. The market door is broken, and Levi, he's not expecting that. P takes him down. Here comes the spray. Hephaestus, though, there to clean up. It's now just 2 players of YorkU Red remaining, and Justin, he's there to clean up the last 2 players. Hicks and Peep are taken down, and Waterloo, I mean, that was just a fierce battle. But at the end of the day, Waterloo, they were looking so confident on Sunset compared to Haven. I mean, it's like the sides completely switched. It seems like, you know, Haven, most of the advantage, most of that prowess was going towards YorkU. But this time around, you know, starting on that defense side, even though they were able to take down YorkU like it was nothing. And, you know, Waterloo, they wanted to push for that map 3, and they're looking to go into that map 3, which is going to be Bind. Once again, Waterloo going to be starting on that defense side, so I'm excited to get into map 3.
Yeah, and we see that Waterloo are starting defense on all 3 of these maps, and which means that we've seen these kind of play out similarly as well. The first round it was York, you know, with a lot to say. They, you know, secure the lead. They don't let it go. Waterloo this time also, you know, seem to show a lot more confidence, especially in these gunfights and these executes. As you know, it's going to be a lot of, you know, infighting. It's a lot of fist fighting, but this is the round. I think this is the game where we definitely saw the value of the neon. Right? I think in Sunset, especially when there's angles like elbow, where there's angle like A main, there's so many things. B main. There's so many things to say. You know, especially if you're running a neon comp, and you know now it's up for anyone's game, really.
Yeah, and I mean Waterloo, they're really playing off that neon well. I mean, Trill was basically doing what Peep was doing last game. I think at this point it's a battle of, you know, these two duelists. It's like who's able to capitalize off of their duelist aggression better. And it seems like in this game it was Waterloo. They were getting those picks left and right. I mean, Trill was just going into site, wreaking havoc. You know, I mean, every round you kind of just saw him run in and just, you know, like dominate someone. And even if he died, there was someone there, you know, holding his hand the whole way to just get that trade for him.
Exactly.
And I mean, Waterloo, they were just looking a little bit too strong compared to their Haven. I think they understood, you know, more of how YorkU plays as a team when it comes to defense and when it comes to their attack as well. And now, you know, YorkU, they got that first map. They're going to want to close this out, get that third map. But Waterloo, they didn't win that second map for nothing. They want to close this out too. It's a fierce battle between both of these teams. And I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see, you know, like it's not often where you see like such close games, you know, especially, you know, like, and the thing I found really interesting too, right, is like they're basically running almost identical comps, you know, like throughout these maps. I don't know if that's going to change, you know, anytime soon on Bind. Maybe we see something spicy, maybe something a little bit more different.
I think like the most standard composition when it actually I think Bind is one of those maps where you can run a non-standard composition and still find yourself so much success. You know, in the past we've seen compositions where there's no sentinel on any team at all. And I think now the meta shifted a little bit more to favor the Cypher pick because of the ability to just hold down the B site and, you know, prevent any players from coming in. It's been really difficult to counter that. And I think that's potentially the reason why Cypher has been nerfed in the recent patch as well, is because, you know, being able to hold down the B site pretty much all on your own just makes you so much more dangerous. And on agents, popular duelists on Bind, you'll see the Raze come out. Occasionally you'll see a Yoru come out because, I mean, you can just teleport going anywhere. The ultimate to clear out so much space as well. And then when it comes to the showstopper, I mean, we've seen some inconsistencies even within our stream, just our viewing experience. We've seen, you know, showstoppers missing when they look like they're right on a person. But, you know, that really satisfying moment where you see a showstopper hit like 3 people, maybe even 4 potentially. And it's like, it feels so rewarding as a Raze player to get that positional advantage for your team.
Yeah, if you see a crazy showstopper clip, you know, on Twitch or on YouTube or something, it's always almost always on Bind.
Yeah,
you know,
Bind or Split. I
Bind
feel
or
like.
Split. Yeah,
it's like those two maps. It's like because they're so closed and narrow. It seems like, you know, you try and push a short and then you see a Raze flying in the air telling you that the party is here. And I mean, it's not really a party for your team if you're getting hit by that Raze rocket, though.
Yeah, exactly. I see like mid-air Raze shots. I see the mid-air like direction changes into the, you know, into the 360 like RPG. And at the end of the day, you know, definitely like you mentioned, Bind is a map where there's a lot more creativity available. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm ready to go into the third map. I hope to see, you know, some crazy Raze action. You know, maybe, I don't know if any team will pick the Neon, if any pick will, or if any team will pick.
I want to see Yoru.
I want to see Yoru too. I feel like Yoru is one of those agents where, you know, it's kind of a sleeper pick. You know, some teams, they opt to pick it, but, you know, it's not always going to be in the meta. You know, some teams, they want to stick to just classy, you know, chill, just that Raze, just that, you know, that Sova.
The bread and butter.
Or, sorry, not Sova, the Sky. And we already see, you know, YorkU, they've got it locked down. I mean, Peep, we've seen how dominant he's been on Jet, but, you know, Raze is a character that plays not completely differently, but you're going to have to position yourself a lot more differently when you don't have the dash available, when you don't have an updraft to get yourself into certain positions. You have to use those satchels kind of to do both things at once.
Yep, and we see actually now we see a lot more variety in the team comps. You see that York has primarily opted for the Fade, actually, the Fade Astra Breach combo, as UW Gold are going for, I think, a slightly more standard comp, but obviously you have to see, how good are Hef Viper walls.
I mean, the difference between these comps is that double controller versus that double initiator. And I think the main reason because of that is because Waterloo, their starting defense, they want to get as many rounds as they can against a composition like a double initiator, because they know that if they have the advantage going into their attack side, they're going to be able to capitalize off it really well. I mean, the double controllers, they're able to get them so much control of the map. And when you have an agent like Raze who thrives off getting that map control and getting into positions that are difficult to get into normally on agents like Jet or Neon as well, you know, when you can just fly in and get that space, it's really important. And this time around, we're actually not going to see Trill on the duelist. This time it's Pork. And I mean, that first map around, he was making it look easy on Sova. So I'm excited to see what he's able to do this time around on the Raze.
Yeah, and Sova's a good agent to get kills on. He provides utility for the team, but this is not what we want to see, from Pork. We want to see him take names, take fights. And speaking of taking fights, it looked like we might have a small clash at the beginning of the, maybe not even so small, as in the shower, P takes out 2 swiftly. That's going to be Trill holding down the heal for him. And yeah, that's going to be UW Gold taking the first strike on for complete shower control at the beginning of this round. As with York, they do want to retake this space, but yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a job.
And the share of shots connecting for Pork, he did tag both of the players that P was able to take down as well, but CEN, he's not ready to let this round into the hands of Waterloo. He takes down 2 of his own, but not after taking a substantial amount of hit point damage as well. Now, seems like they're going to want to come back into the A site, and Waterloo, they're not really contesting it too much. Trill waiting so patiently behind that Nebula.
Yes, and even if YorkU are a member down, we've always seen what can happen. And the first piece of the puzzle is they have to kill the U-Haul guy. They have to kill Trill. They have to make space. They've kind of opted to actually just drop smokes on this site and just play in it. That's a good play. That's a good idea. But at the end of the day, Hef is the one grabbing 2 kills, running out of showers. That is going to be first round over to UW Gold.
I mean, isolating those 1v1s there was important for Hef, and he's able to do that. And even though, sometimes you gotta go for that clean, double headshot, Hephaestus just stays calm, just sprays the body, gets himself 2. I mean, it's better to be safe rather than sorry. And Waterloo, they're going to pick themselves up that pistol round, getting themselves the advantage. The Outlaw now in the hands of Dequavius Pork. I feel like we haven't seen too much Outlaw gameplay apart from that one round that we saw from Peep on the attack side, or sorry, on the defense side on Haven. And now, I mean, the Outlaw is just one of those weapons where it can really be a difference maker because of the ability to one-shot anyone who has light armor, anyone who's unsuspecting, and it also just kind of acts as a marshal. It kind of just does it all.
Yeah, and I've seen the Outlaw just get insane value.
It feels like an op.
Not just in eco rounds, right? Like if there's rounds where some people have some light armor,
yeah, it feels like an operator when you don't have the full shields available. In your YorkU, they're definitely not going to want to commit full shields after just losing that pistol round. And already they've been trying to look towards this A site, but Waterloo, they're not giving them any breathing room at all.
The dog is gonna be able to make a jump, spot out a little bit of people. Not enough to initiate like a full recall, a full rotate from the side of UW. Yeah. York actually are rolling the spike over to B, but they have to be really careful. Remember, this is where the Outlaw is waiting for them.
Yeah, and Pork is just diligently holding the angle. He's got Hephaestus there to support him too, in case, they're like, oh, there's an Outlaw. He shot both his bullets. Let's go get him. But, I mean, Hephaestus, he's just there in the corner waiting. And now YorkU, they're still being super patient. It's only one player actually going towards Hookah. It's Levi. He throws the haunt. It does connect with Hephaestus, but he's already got that orb ready, and CEN, he's gonna get that TP too, and now there's 2 players ready to push Hookah, but here comes the teleport from Trill, not what Peep or Levi were expecting, and CEN is taken down as well. Hicks does find one onto Pork. The headshot does connect as well, but it's not enough. Hephaestus, he's just jumping out there with the Spectre, and the bullets are gonna be just enough to take down Nexus as well, bringing the score 2-0. I mean, Waterloo, they lose 2 players there, but they've still got the money. They've still got the guns recovered as well. And now the gun round, the rifle rounds coming in from the side of YorkU.
Yeah, from the side of YorkU, the devastating scenario here for them is when, you know, Pork gets first pick onto Shun and Levi with the Outlaw, just bang bang, you know, like wow wow wow, and then they go down, and then now the round is collapsing around them because the Outlaw is taking over the game. So I think York have to be actually really careful with how they take their engages, and maybe use some of this util to make sure that, like, you know, they figure out where the Outlaw and most of the resistance is. You know, speaking of which, they're just jumping onto A site with the satchel. They jump. You know, Justin's gonna go down to Peep. Looks like Peep is gonna hold on to more of the util, completely clear out backside as well. And now, you know, YorkU, you know, make their move onto site. It's gonna be bomb going down, but yeah, Outlaw.
The Outlaw takes down Peep, who was already a little bit lower on HP, didn't have that full shield active for himself. And Hicks, he's also kind of low here. It's still a 4v4 situation, though. Pork finding himself the second. Simon gets taken down, and here comes the flash. It actually does connect onto Hephaestus as well, but Trill is able to capitalize off his own flash, take down Nexus, and now Waterloo, they're getting themselves another bonus round victory. P and Trill, the last 2 alive on you Waterloo to do it.
You gotta remember, this is, I think, how last round started too, right? Like, Waterloo wins the bonus, they win the pistol, they win the, you know, they win 3 rounds consecutive in a row,
and potentially that 4 too.
Exactly, they keep the momentum
this is a difficult
going.
round for YorkU. I mean, as you mentioned, the momentum is going, and Waterloo, they want to get that momentum as soon as they can on defense half, because once, you know, YorkU, they figure out what they want to do on attack and they start getting those rounds, it becomes increasingly difficult for Waterloo to defend against them, as we've seen in the past. It seems like when YorkU get their attack, you know, steady, when they figure out what they want to do, they're able to get rounds left and right.
Yes, and the first thing is they have to start their adaptation fast. And the second thing is they have to overcome the double controller, like you mentioned, right? Like the double controller, you know, Waterloo starting defense first. They really want to lock down these defense rounds, and we saw that really shine last round as well. Sorry, last round as well, when YorkU were looking to put a lot of pressure onto Hookah. And the Viper just throws snake bites and has the poison orb, and it's just impossible to push into angles like that. As yeah, Justin gets the kill on the shower. P gets a trade. You know, if he gets another kill, Levi's gonna get a trade onto P. But now looks to choke out the remains of YorkU as Peep is jumping around the corner with a Bucky.
I mean, the Bucky's a little bit difficult to be in this position with, and he does actually find a Hephaestus, but it's not going to be good enough. Trill takes him down, and the last kill going to, I think it was Pork there who got that last one. Waterloo bring themselves up 4-0, and they're looking comfortable, but it's another rifle round coming in from the side of YorkU. They do have the Fade ultimate available as well. I mean, that's one of those ultimates where it's kind of like the Breach ultimate, where it has so much space that it takes, but you know, the altering effect is that you lose your HP, you lose your ability or to hear anything, and you know, it just makes the site a lot easier to take when you're an attacker. So if you know, York choose to use his ultimate this round, it could be the difference maker that they need to get themselves on the board.
Just as an interesting note, I think Pork bottomed off that round.
I'm down for that.
Yeah,
I mean, after getting yourself up 4-0, I mean, the operator is a very respectable buy, and he's just holding that line on ace short. He knows that no one's really contesting this right now, and then already you see 3 players of Waterloo. They're towards the B site where the spike is as well.
Yeah, and Waterloo making up for the Cypher nerfs by sticking in another entire controller and all her util onto the site with the Viper, you know, making sure that that hookah is completely locked down. And I think Justin knows that there's going to be soon an influx of very angry men running into his site, and he's got to be very careful. But yeah, if they go for the teleport play as well, it's not also the easiest thing in the world for York, because Pork is waiting and he has the showstopper. So they have to be very careful with how they play it. Not being able to take down Justin on that play might actually steal the round, because yeah, it's really tough. They're taking damage on the HP. There's so much util. They have to push through the cages.
Oh, this time it wasn't Hicks. It wasn't Hicks.
That is
it
not
wasn't Hicks. Let's all celebrate the fact that it wasn't Hicks. But I mean, if you're a CEN, you're not celebrating either. It's not really fortunate to die in a position like that, and it's not fortunate for P to die in that position either. But DeQuavius, he's there to get a refrag. Takes down another player. Hephaestus finding another. The showstopper from DeQuavius, not going to be connecting, but he does seem to be aware that there's potentially a player here. The quick scope is going to take down Hicks. I mean, that was just a great round from Waterloo. It seemed like, you know, things were looking a little rough for them at first. YorkU, they tried to fight back, but Waterloo, they stayed composed. They were able to get themselves the picks they needed, and you know, it was all up to Hicks there, tucked in that corner. And you know, he did potentially have a timing. I thought it was going to be, you know, a punish coming out from him, but the quick scope. I mean, I swear it's always Hicks that's, you know, on the receiving end of things. I mean,
yeah, like, you know, like, it doesn't, like when you're trying to play Valorant, but you're just a breach.
I mean,
you know?
I feel like this Astra right now, just looking down at the ground, trying to figure out, you know, what they want to do. You know, YorkU, they are able to get that attack dominance going, but right now they haven't been able to find that just yet. You know, Cypher, he's got his hand up thinking, what could I do here? What could I do in this position? Maybe go into the market, buy some spices, spice up my tripwires, you know, potentially. Get some spice laid out in these cages. They walk in, you know, get spice on their eyes, makes it harder for them to see potentially. But YorkU, they're gonna have to make some sort of miracle happen if they want to stay in this game.
Yeah, and this is exactly how I feel right now if I'm YorkU.
Little
I'm pulling
bear
out
in a
the
box.
knife. Yeah, I'm pulling out the knife. You know, I'm
Fighting
ready
back.
for violence. Because right now they need more explosiveness. They need more, you know, oomph in their takes. Because they've been getting shut down, right? I think, you know, like, it was revealed to me in a dream that Pork would hold the site with Op and Showstopper. And that's exactly what happened. And York needs to be very, very careful. The shower angle, extremely dangerous. And danger rating, you know, like 9 out of 10. Like this hookah angle, like danger rating, like 10 out of 10. There's a Viper waiting for you there. You know, this long angle, maybe
there's a
maybe
Cypher
like
camera to spot you out too.
Maybe like a 6 out of 10. So
I
I
mean,
think
look
that's
at
why
Justin's
they keep
position.
going for it. Yeah.
He's just posted up on the box. He's ready to take the fight. I mean, he's ready to bring the boom towards YorkU, and he already does. I mean, Levi through the
Boom.
cage is taken down. That's going to be the spike as well. DeQuavius, though, the op shot a little wide in Nexus. I mean, he has that Sheriff in his hand, but it doesn't matter because that one-shot headshot is going to be taking him down. And now the position is still even. It's a 4v4 situation. But YorkU, they do still have economy weapons in their hands.
Yep, that kill on Nexus might have been crucial, but it wasn't enough to get that operator into the hands. Shrill is going to be trying to do a little bit of a spray through the smoke. But unfortunately for him, Shun is just going to, you know, dodge the bullets. Do you ever dodge bullets on, like, Wednesday night?
It's like calm little, you know, just fighting wars on a little Wednesday night. Don't mention the 5 minutes in a game, though. And here comes Pete flying through the site. The Viper's pick committed, as well as the Rolling Thunder. And Hephaestus, he might be a little bit stuck here. The grenade, the paint shells taking him down as well. And now Waterloo suddenly are on the back pedal. They only have 3 players remaining. The regrowth gonna get Justin back up to 100 HP, but Peep, he is looking very, very weak here. The fight potentially coming to Justin, but he's ready. Takes on the first, onto Science. The Vandal, recovered by Hicks, is going to be used to take down Justin. P fighting back, finding himself 1 and 2. The regrowth.
They know exactly where he is. Hicks has to make this happen. He gets 1, but is immediately traded by P. And yes, that was a tough round for Gold, you know, Warriors to win, but that was also a really tough round, you know, to face. If you're YorkU, you had the round, you have the site, you had the guns. You know, winning that round could have been the momentum swing back in your favor, but unfortunately, Pork has just bought that another operator. You know, no financing, just cash.
I
straight
mean,
up cash.
when you're up 6-0, it's like you kind of just feel like you can do that with no drawbacks. I mean, he's still got 1,500 to fall back on. Why would he feel guilty?
Exactly.
You know?
0% APR.
Of course, of course. And you know, you love to see that, you know.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the state of the game right now. You know, YorkU has, you know, purchased another gun, but the thing is, they keep going to take this long. Like, they keep going long, right? Because they can't take the space long. But it's just been such a disaster for them to try and take the site. The Nightfall coming over top. But yes, Justin just sprays. Sorry, Hef and Justin just holds Mouse 1 through the smoke in long. They know that this is the only place that YorkU have a chance to make it. And they are just gunned down. By the way, these are 2 people with rifles. It's not even eco round.
Yeah, I mean, that's just tough for YorkU. I mean, if you're in that position, you kind of want to expect the shots to come through the smokes, but if you're Justin, you're not necessarily expecting the shots to come through from Nexus, and I think if you're Nexus, you're not expecting the shots to come through from Hephaestus through the wall. Hicks, though, he's able to equalize the position a little bit. It's still a 3v2 situation as we come down to 2v1. Cyan taking down P. The paint shell's landing. Shrill, he's aware of the position that Cyan is in. He takes him down. and the grasp to take CEN to the underworld. 7-0 now for Waterloo. They're looking as dominant as ever on this map.
Yeah, and like York, you gotta stop getting shot by Justin in that long angle, because that has been the thing that's been shutting them down many
I
rounds.
swear I haven't seen Justin like fight someone like head to head. I think like almost 3 or 4 of his kills have just been punishing people through the smoke. And honestly, so be it. He's got his assists. He's getting his frags. I mean, that's the most you can ask for from a Cypher. And to Quavius Park, he's posted up on his position again. Takes a little bit of an incorrect timing on Peep though. And here comes the Showstopper as well as the Cosmic Divide. The Showstopper not going to connect fully onto Justin. The bullet's a little bit wide from Trill. He's going to be punished from that by Hicks, and Hephaestus doesn't expect the second player tucked there with the Stinger. Is taken down on the Spike, finally going down for YorkU. It's still a 3v3 situation. 2 players on each, or 2 players, 1 on each side, low on HP. But Justin able to give themselves the advantage. Peep is taken down.
1 enemy remaining.
Justin with another one, proving that is not just, you know, through the smoke fights he excels at, but it's actually he can shoot people, you know, when they see him face to face. As again, it looks even, it looks decent, it looks doable for York. But at the end of the day, Waterloo flood the site, Waterloo take the guns, Waterloo win the gunfights, and it's going to be 8-0 for the side of Waterloo.
I mean, this is just scary for YorkU. They are getting the maximum, you know, credit bonus that they can possibly get. They're getting that influx of cash that they might need. But, you know, making the difference is the hardest part, and trying to capitalize off of, you know, any space, any information that you can get. You know, they're able to get onto site. They're able to plant the spike, but they're just not able to counter Justin. They're not able to hold him down. And I mean, the trades come in left and right, but at the end of the day, Waterloo, they are going to be the ones to take that round, swinging it in their favor yet again. Looks like this time around, instead of going long, they're going on the complete opposite side of the map. They're looking to take it towards the A Showers location, and they've gotten control here. Trailblazer spotting out Peep though.
Yeah, and it looks like YorkU have been, you know, knocking everywhere to find a weak spot, to find a place where they can go in, but you know, Waterloo's got really good home security, because there's nothing, like, they seem a little bit impenetrable, the closest that YorkU has gotten. You know, they took the site, they had site control, they got the spike down. But even then, with numbers, Warriors have been able to retake off, and have with one and with another. No, Nexus gets the trade-off very, very low. But yeah, at the end of the day, York need to find an opening, need to find an entry. This doesn't look the best, but maybe with a timing push onto A when Waterloo are not ready for this push, maybe they can make something happen. Maybe they can put the game state in a position where they can make something happen. But P takes down one. And now it's all 3v4 all again. P with another one.
Trying to look for the third. It's not going to be in his hands, but it does go in the hands of Trill. Levi trying to fight back, though. He finds himself the first, the second, but not the third. It's going to be Pork getting that last pick on the round, bringing Waterloo up to a very, very comfortable 9-0. I mean, you know, Waterloo, they think that they can maybe, you know, chill back and relax, but I mean, that 9-3 curse is still potentially available if York are able to get this round, but, you know, money's still not super in their favor. They've got to still buy these light shields, potentially get some rifles across the board, but Waterloo, I mean, they're comfortable.
Yeah, York need to do anything possible to invoke the 9-3 curse. They have to win this round, even if it means sacrificing things precious to them. You know, maybe you gotta sacrifice your precious skins or two, because you need to win this round. You have 2 ultimates. You have, you know, a Rolling Thunder. You have a Neural Theft. You need to make something happen, and that, if someone's gonna make that happen, that's gonna have to be Peep potentially.
Yeah, the duelist is going to be the one who has to make as much space gathered, has to make, you know, the play, try to get in sight, maybe find 1, maybe find 2. But, I mean, it's just so tough. I mean, Waterloo, they've got all of these sites locked down, and even when they give the site, their retake is just so daunting. I mean, it's just kind of, you know, an overcast shadow, and Tripwire is broken, and here comes the execute from YorkU. They're going to be throwing the paint shells into the Nebula, trying to clear out any potential straddlers. Not going to be anyone found, though. Here comes the spike plant, potentially Levi, finding himself to pick onto Justin as the spike finally does go down.
We've seen York get to this point. It's just how they choose to hold it. And as soon as we say that, we see so many trades coming from Waterloo. But this time, Peep is there with the headshot. Shun is there with the Sheriff. And it looks like now it's going to be YorkU's first round on the board as Yoon managed to get a kill, finishing off Hef on the flank there. And yes, that is the round they needed.
Yeah, that's going to be important. They do still have, I believe, some money to buy themselves back up, and some purchases coming in for Hicks. He's getting that Phantom in his hands and a light shield in the hands of Nexus, but they do have the Rolling Thunder available, the Neural Theft available, and Waterloo actually, they have been losing, you know, a couple of members in these fights, and you see their money typically when you're up 9 rounds, you think it'd be flourishing, but you know, they do still have Justin on the light shields, and Hephaestus still has to buy that Stinger. I mean, he's on an economy buy here.
Yep, and it looks like York are trying to go for a B play once again. They sweep out Hookah. They seem confident about pushing into Viper. Actually, Trill gets the kill on the Cypher. It is actually really important, more than ever, for York to take more control here. But they might be running straight into a tripwire, as that's going to be one down.
Whoa, whoa, the knife!
Just goes swinging, welcome to London!
Oh goodness, the knife trying to come out from Hephaestus doesn't connect, however, and he is taken down by CEN, but I mean, it's not going to be enough. It's all up to Hicks now. He does have the spike in hands, looking to take it towards A, and you know, Waterloo, they've completely given this up.
Yeah, and Hicks...
Oh, he's trying to go back.
Yeah, Hicks was going to A, but sometimes if you're clutching, you have to make the big brain plays. Even if you kind of realize they're like P-brain plays later, but you have to go, you have to make these variables, you have to make things chaotic. And the first thing he needs to do is get this spike down, as we see the hyenas close it on it.
And here come the Predators, but Hicks, he's there to fight back, finds 2 in Hookah, but the final boss, it's going to be Pork, and unfortunately, the hyenas are too strong, as the last hyena, Dequavius Pork, is able to take down Hicks, bringing the score 10-1. Waterloo, they're looking to get this 11-1 half up and running.
Yeah, Pork saying you ate me. You know, Pork was the one that brought back, you know, the impossible 1v3 gunfight clutch at the end there. And, you know, Hicks, for all he's been through this series, he almost manages to clutch it out, but yes, Pork is there to shut it down. And now it's going to be 3 ultimates on the side of YorkU, some 2 on the side of Waterloo. They have, you know, they have the Brimstone almost coming up, so if they manage to get a pick at the beginning of the round, we might see some utility there. But yeah, round 1, YorkU want to get the shower pressure.
And Peep, you know, he hasn't really been getting a lot of footing this time around. Maybe it's that race pick that he's not as comfortable as he is on compared to the Jet. The Tripwire actually going to spot him out, but there's no one there to capitalize on that behind the Cosmic Divide. Justin, he does have the Judge very close to U-Haul here, trying to find any potential straddlers who want to explore the U-Haul location. Here comes the Rolling Thunder. It is going to connect, but the Judge doesn't get affected as much by that Rolling Thunder, but Nexus, with the Sheriff in hands, is able to take him down. Here comes the Quavius Pork with the Showstopper taking down Nexus. Hicks there to trade, and now it's just 1 enemy remaining for the attackers, taking down the last. Hephaestus falls, and suddenly YorkU have found themselves the last round, and this is a 10-2 half.
Yeah, and you know, that is you know, that is a round hard fought and hard won, but that needed to happen earlier for YorkU. 10-2 definitely. I've seen these happen before, but at the end of the day, it's going to be so hard for YorkU, and when they have the momentum, it might feel like it's just being ripped out of their hands. So what they need to do is they need to win pistol round minimum, which is going to be a tall ask, you know, especially if you're up against the likes of Waterloo on their form right now. But it looks like we're getting a bit of deja vu again, as it's going to be a shower fight, but this time they have, you know, switched where they're standing.
And this time around, you know, the double smokes or double controllers going up against the double initiators this time on the attack side, you know, you have to get as much space as you can, you know, with that Viper wall, you know, cutting off all of the site from the A site into U-Haul. But, you know, it seems like Waterloo, they're waiting so patiently. It's a 4-man tuck in this corner, and if Peep gets caught out, he is not going to be happy.
And I think Waterloo have the read on to York, but he actually managed to get the 1-2. It is a 2v4. Captain Levi and Peep manages to take out everybody on the side of Warriors. At the beginning, I thought that was a good, like, hard read. They want to bait the shower players into pushing out. They want to run them over, you know, potentially just run it A afterwards.
I think it was just too difficult,
Yes.
all being tucked in that little corner. It seems like, you know, YorkU, they just kind of grab them all and squeeze them into that tiny little corner. You know, Trill, we saw him try and get that Trailblazer to get some information, and just as he did, you know, YorkU, they were there, they swung and they punished it as quickly as they could. I'm sure they weren't expecting 4 players there either, but, you know, with the Sheriff and the Ghost in hand, they were able to take down the players of UW Gold, and now it is 10-3, and Waterloo suddenly are on the back foot this round as they have to go for eco.
Yeah, and it's just how it is, right? I think Fade didn't even use a piece of utility that round. And you know what they say, right? The best initiation is if you just kill everybody, and then your team can entry if you kill everybody, right? So
I'm not sure if I've heard that one, but I mean,
but
whatever
you know,
book you're reading.
exactly.
I mean.
No, if you kill, it's like how you know, the best support is if you kill everybody on the enemy team, that you can keep your team safe.
Oh yeah.
You know, the best healers simply remove the source of the damage. You know,
Be a
from the enemy
support
team.
gap potentially.
Exactly,
You know, this ain't League of Legends, but you know, it could be. It could be its own League of Legends potentially. We got the legends on the side of YorkU and UW, and here's CEN, the legend himself, getting himself 3 with that Bulldog, and now it's all up to Trill. He snuck his way into spawn, does find one onto Levi, trying to find another. He does on the peep, but CEN, he wants to get himself that 4K. He does take down Trill with the headshot, and he is actually, he's got those regen shields, you know. We haven't mentioned those.
Ooh, yeah.
We haven't mentioned those yet, but the regen shields, you know, they've been the newest armory addition to Valorant. You know, he's got himself back up that light shield and only got 2 recharges of that left, or I guess 1 recharge of that left now.
Yeah, it really makes me feel like a smart spender when I
Oh,
buy
yeah.
it. It makes me feel like an efficient, you know, smart with my money, smart with my finances type of
Because at
guy.
the end of the round, you get that HP back
Exactly,
and you get that shield back.
exactly.
It's like you never took any damage, you know? It's like you just
Exactly.
bought light shield. It's that extra 250 that could make the difference. And we forgot to mention this, but Waterloo, they were able to get 4 that last round, and now they've got rifles across the board as well, and YorkU potentially are on the back foot here. They do have the advantage when it comes to this A site. I mean, 4 players stationed there, but Waterloo, they just have no interest in that. They want to push straight into Nexus and this judge in his hands.
And yeah, like you said, with the full buy, it's going to be hard for either side to say, you know, who has the confidence. But I think one thing that Waterloo know is that there is a criminal hookah right now with a judge.
And the tripwire is broken. Pork and Justin casually just walking on the site, trying to find out if there's anyone else here to really fight. Here comes the teleports, though. And there's a positioning Hephaestus has. He might be able to find 1, potentially 2. The shot's going a little bit wide. They are able to connect. He does take down Nexus. Peep, though, going to be trading him out. And now YorkU, they're down a player, but they're just positioned in hookah here, and the players of Waterloo, they just kind of want to play this chill little post plan. I don't think Hicks is expecting there to be a player all the way up in his spawn, and I don't think CEN and Peep are expecting to get flushed out like that either. Waterloo bring this up to 11-4, keeping themselves pretty healthy when it comes to guns and economy.
And that's why you gotta be careful when you play hookah, right? You can play hookah with the judge, and basically you're like almost impenetrable in there. But at the end of the day, if you get utiled out, they take the site, and you kind of become the one who's actually boxed in there. And especially with how Hef was playing, you know, outside with the sneaky off angle. Yeah, it was Waterloo playing that really smart. You know, now they have the guns again, right? So
Yeah.
up to them to take showers, and yeah, there's gonna be no resistance here for now. But Cypher is set up a little bit towards this A point. This dog is gonna spot him out, but that's gonna be tripwire trigger. They know that this tripwire is here. 3 shots and a dream, 2 shots and a dream, 1 shot. Okay, maybe not. But he went crazy.
I mean, those are going to be the picks that they need. The Sheriff in the hands of Nexus, taking down 2. Justin, though, he's trying to channel himself into, or channel the inner Nexus he has in himself, getting himself 2 as well. And suddenly, YorkU, they do still have the advantage, but they are able to recover some guns. It might be enough to swing it around in their favor, but Hicks low on HP, but the spike fully in the control of YorkU.
And they gotta be if Hicks gets this kill here, it could be wraps for Waterloo. But he has to be careful. He has around 50 HP if he's utiled out. If he, you know, is traded out here, it could be really risky. And yes, that's 3 on the board for Justin. Neural Theft is going to be thrown to immediately. Peep with a quick peep swing manages to take out
Oh,
but Justin
what a swing!
with a crazy swing gets 4 on the board, but that's not enough to get the ace at the end. It is a Cypher versus Cypher anime battle. You know, you were just like me.
I'm
you know,
you, but
I
stronger.
am you, exactly.
And Nexus, I mean, he was the difference maker that round, getting himself those first 2 picks. I mean, you know, normally when you're facing, you know, 2 rifles and all that utility coming your way with the Trailblazer as well, you kind of want to respect, you want to back up. But, you know, Nexus, he stood his ground. He just stayed there and he held that angle, got himself 2 picks, and that was the real difference maker there for YorkU. But Waterloo, they're not changing up their plans. They still want to go up back into the Showers location, potentially contest Nexus if he's there again.
Is there again. I mean, he's nearby, not playing as far up as last round. But yeah, it has been a round, you know, a crazy round for YorkU last round, and now the Warriors are a little bit more careful with how they execute things. They don't want to push in too hastily, so they back up. They don't want to push through the smokes. They don't want to push through their util. But that doesn't mean they've committed off of A yet. Now, York still don't have that much information because their B members haven't pushed out of sight yet. But that means this Warriors hit could be even more lethal when it hits.
Yeah, not enough stars in the hands of the Astra CEN. He's going to have to commit his second last star there. The Tripwire does find out Justin, the fault line connecting as well. Trill, though, is going to be the one to get the first pick on the round as Levi is taken down. The spike goes down as well. It's going to be a 5-man post-plan situation for UW. And now YorkU, they've got some guns in their hands to try and make this happen. The last star in the hands of CEN is committed. Here comes a showstopper from Peep, not able to connect onto anyone. Trill tucked there into default. Justin and Peep finding themselves 1 each. And Hicks tries to fight back as the last man standing, and Pork takes him down. And now we're going up to match point 12-5. YorkU, they're going to need to make something happen if they want this victory.
Yeah, and without Nexus, you know, channeling the powers of like divine powers that round, unfortunately, you know, YorkU fall, you know, to the execute. I think that's definitely the vision Waterloo had last round as well. But this time they managed to execute without a disaster happening. Showers, and this means that York have to go for an eco buy on the last round, potentially last round.
Yeah, I mean, this could be the last round. I mean, YorkU, they don't really have a lot of money to work around. And, you know, it's looking a little bit difficult for them. They've got some stingers, maybe some guns in hand to try and hold it down. Pork, he's fighting 2 people at once, and he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt in that fight. P, though, finds Peep through the nebula, is able to take him down, and now still a player advantage for YorkU, I believe.
Yep, and that's going to be, yeah, that's going to be YorkU with 4v3 in a 4v3 situation. They need to lock this one out. They managed to make a miracle happen. And yes, this is the footing they need. They're rock bottom right now. They need to push off the ground. They need to push themselves, hit the momentum. There's no more side switches. There's no more, you know, they need to keep this going, right? And especially if you have 3 ultimates now, you know, like
you gotta use everything.
You gotta throw everything in the kitchen sink to make sure you're winning these rounds.
You know, they've got the ingredients ready. They just need to plate it up and put out a master dish. And, you know, if they're able to, you know, well and good. But they still got 6 rounds ahead of them and then another 2 after that to try and make this work. 8 rounds in a row. It's going to be difficult, but it's not impossible. As well as the fact that, you know, they are on the defense side. They are on the more advantageous side in this position. But Waterloo, this time around, they're going for a calm little default, trying to find as much information as they can, maybe a pick or 2. But YorkU, they're just disciplined around their sites.
Yep, and it's going to be slow playing from both teams once again, as we see that Warriors have fanned out a little bit wider than they've been doing last round, so they want to find the weak point again. They've been going for a lot of strong executes, you know, taking showers strongly.
Clean shot from Peep. I mean, Trill wasn't really expecting to get shot out that quickly, but he is taken down, and Peep already getting himself back up on the board. CEN Nexus as well, getting themselves a little bit on the action. It's all up to Hephaestus. He does have a Sheriff in hand, but not much he's going to be able to do with this. He's crept his way onto A, though. And now the players of YorkU, they're kind of just trying to figure out where the heck is Hephaestus.
I have no idea how he got here, actually.
I think he creeped past the Viper wall and then just made his way
30 seconds
through.
left.
I mean, he's hearing footsteps, but making anything happen in this position is going to be really difficult.
Yeah, Secret Agent Hef has to make something happen. He has to beat Levi first, but yeah, that's not going to happen. As 12-7, that's a lot closer than things seemed at the beginning of this half.
I mean, it was 12-5, and now
Yeah.
it's 12-7, and just like that, the timeout is called this time on the side of YorkU. Once again, you know, they want to figure out how can we close this out. You know, we got the last 2 rounds, but now we can't get sloppy. I think Waterloo this time around, they have a full buy coming out, and, you know, they've got the guns on their side. They've had a lot of success on these A hits as well. They've been able to get onto site. On the B hits, too, I mean, they've been so successful on this attack half as a whole. But YorkU, I mean, they're going to have to fight back if they want to stay in this.
Yeah, and
A beautiful low raise cam. Oh,
yeah.
whoa.
Whoa, too close.
Too much action there. Take me out to dinner first.
A little bit, but that's, you know, like the fact that we're scared of that is just because it's Peep that we're looking at.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah, Peep has been the man of the shower.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's like a
The
a crazy
the
I don't
shower
know-
man.
I don't know if that's the shower man.
The shower
You
man.
know, come into theaters 2026.
The power of cleanliness and soap is
Yes, the
just too
shower man,
powerful.
Exactly. And you got to be careful because, you know, last round too, right? Like the Waterloo's attempts were just shut down because Peep just takes somebody out showers. And now he has to pick and choose his fights. Maybe Torque just jumps through short with an RPG, and maybe that's how Waterloo want to secure this round. But
I also think it's so funny right now how the paint shells are appearing red. You know, it's like a skill check right now. It's like telling you got to use those paint shells. You know, and I think it's kind of funny. But
in the tutorial, like use this. Like,
yeah, it's a highlighted activity, and here comes the orbital strike as well as the showstopper. Some slowing down, some CC potentially onto Pork, but it's not going to be slow enough to slow him down from taking out Levi and Peep as well. Here comes the aftershock, but the spike is going to go down. I think it's going to be taking a Faces down with him. No, it's not. The Viper's Pit committed now too, and amidst all the chaos, the members of Waterloo low, but advantageous in terms of player count.
yeah, this astral divide has to be perfect to make something happen for YorkU, and with P taking that kill there, it might be just wrapped as soon as the last hope of York. But Warriors, the Waterloo Gold, clutches out that last round. They are so low, health bars looking so dire, but you know, Hef living that last round, putting down the Viper's Fit, mean that there are no more variables YorkU can pull out, you know, to make that comeback happen ultimately, and that's going to be Waterloo taking this series.
Yeah, and I mean, that was just a very exciting way for Waterloo to close it out. As we mentioned at the start of the stream, this was their Swiss stage, their double elimination, and with this victory, they have advanced themselves onto the playoffs for CEN. And speaking of CEN, I'm sure we've got some exciting news for our viewers regarding CEN.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot more events happening. We firstly have the League of Legends CEN Games Round 2 tomorrow. So definitely stay tuned for that if you're a fan of League of Legends.
We've also got Valorant, our Valorant GC team competing against in the CEN bracket against another GC team. I'm unsure which one. We're going to have to see what team goes on, as well as another game from Valorant Gold. These games will be happening on Sunday, as well as Rocket League finals, which will be happening on Saturday. So, you know, we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming on this following weekend. I mean, I'm excited. I hope you are excited too.
Definitely. You know, I'm definitely doing my part and tuning in on Sunday. And by that, I mean I'm going to be casting Sunday. But definitely you should also do your part and tune in Sunday, cheer on your favorite universities. And even if it's not your favorite university, still come out, you know, support the esports scene, you know, take a look at what the best universities in Canada fighting it out for the top spot looks like.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, these Canadian esports teams, they're spanning a wide range. We've got Rocket League, we've got League of Legends, and we've got Valorant. I mean, a lot of exciting stuff happening this weekend. It could go either way. We're hoping to see, obviously, Waterloo come out on top in most, if not all, of these events coming up. You know, we've seen some promise coming in from Waterloo Gold today. You know, starting out rough in that first map, you know, not really able to find too much of their footing. And, YorkU, it seemed like they had the advantage the majority of the time. But, after figuring out what what YorkU wanted to do in a lot of those rounds, it seems they just had so much dominant prowess on Bind. And I don't think YorkU was just able to find it back. And, when you're pushed that far onto the back foot, it just becomes really hard to come back. But, props to YorkU for still putting up incredible performance, giving us a great match to watch. We hope that you guys have enjoyed.
Yes, and if the rest of the series, that are played out are bangers like this one, then there's no reason not to tune in. But for now, we'll let you go. Have a good night. Have a enjoyable night so you can rest up and tune into future CEN streams. My name is Jamin.
My name is Ronick, and thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope you have a good night.